good morning, wonderful people. Happy Sunday. Let me adjust that camera. There we go. How is everyone doing? I'm Jay. And what's going on? Look at that. Look at that black gold. Hang on. Oh, I don't want to spill it. Cheers to everybody. Hope you're having a wonderful Sunday. It's beautiful and sunny here in Old Ontario, and I'm pointing at the window that you can't see, but that's neither here nor there. We are here to chill out after a full week of streaming and go through our old memories and our favorite magazine, Electronic Gaming Monthly. So I'd like to welcome all of you here. Den of Geek. That's weird. JT is not first today, huh? Den of Geek says Turtle Power, and we have the mighty Matt Rubin. Matt Rubin says, hey, there's nothing that will put some pep in your step like hearing the theme from the 1986 Transformers movie first thing in the morning. I agree. I would take that a step further and say dare. Like if you really want to, if you're going out there and you're doing grocery shopping, you really don't want to do it, just put dare on. And good morning, my friend. Mutron. Cheers on everybody. How you doing, pal? Oh, there he is. Look at this guy. He must have slept in today. Might have to wake this guy up. Jesse's here. Good morning. How you doing, my friend? Good to see you on a beautiful Sunday. And we got another wonderful streamer in the house, P90. Good morning, all. It'd be nice to be on the listing side this week. You can just chill out. You don't have to worry about being on camera. We got Packers, Black Gold. What's up, Packers? Texas Tea? Dude, I don't know. Whatever you want to call it. It's just black coffee from Tim Hortons from a K-cup. That's all. That's about as fancy as I get. But we have a special guest, as you guys know. Let's get in here. One of the perks I have on the channel is to be on a live stream, and this fine gentleman is taking advantage of it this week. Let's bring in our pal, John, but he'll always be JT to me. Let's welcome him. What's up, buddy? How you doing?
Here for the new episode of These Softs Are Hot. I'm looking forward to it. Thank you.
So we're gonna maybe that's something for the future. Maybe have to incorporate some hot sauce into. Maybe every time they say hot softs, everyone has to do a shot of Tabasco.
It's gonna end up in the ER pretty quick. Yeah.
So how are you doing, man? You are on the camera end of things this morning. How does that feel?
I know. It's exciting. It's unexplored territory for me. So I appreciate you having me on.
Oh, dude, of course, yeah. All good here. Yeah, so we've played lots of games together. We played 7 Days to Die. We played GTA. I think that's it so far, but we're having a lot of fun doing that. Look at all these people coming on in. Real, what's up? Good morning. Have a great show. I'm about to record an episode. Oh, fine then. And Hacker says JT, right on, brother. Pat stands here. Good morning. Good to see all you guys. Okay, JT, you have your coffee or whatever you drink?
Yeah, I'm settling on water for right now.
Fair enough. I think you'll find that once we get to the quarterman segment, you might need something a little bit stronger.
Yeah, you're probably right.
So we are having a fun little competition today. We are doing the U.S. school system versus the Canadian school system. And I'm pretty nervous. How do you feel, Mr. USA?
Pretty good. I've been practicing reading,
You better have not spoiled this thing. You better have not read this magazine.
No, not the magazine. I'm going in cold on the magazine.
Okay,
good. Some Nintendo Power I was flipping through,
Yeah, so JT likes to poke the bear. He likes to poke the bear and say, every time Will and I screw up, damn Canadian school system. Well, we're going to see today.
Yep.
We're going to see who the better reader is. I already know the answer to that, but that's all right. Random Rick, what is up? Rival Schools. Welcome on in. Random Rick Reviews. Say that a couple times.
That is right.
Good to see you, buddy. School. We are on Electronic Gaming Monthly. We are on number 28, which I think is from November 1991. So here we go. Let's bring that up. Anyone who wants to read along with us, because it is a lot easier, Retro bucketmagazines.com. Check it out. That's where we grab all these PDFs. Those guys are awesome at archiving video game history. So check it out. Random Rick waves hello to all. Okay, now JT, when I was making the thumbnail for this, I made a Turtles 3, the Manhattan Project, because that's what I thought it was. I had to kind of peek a little bit inside to find out that it wasn't. I think this is for Turtles in Time.
That's Turtles 3 is Turtles in Time. Yeah, I didn't know that.
I thought Turtles 3 was Turtles 3, the Manhattan Project, but apparently, well, I didn't go too far in because right here it says 16-bit sequel, so I'm like, okay. So we had to change the thumbnail up a bit.
Right. Well,
who remembers Turtles in Time? Rick, can I call you Rick? Is that okay? If not, let me know. Rick says EGM rocked. Yeah, this was my main school book in high school, which kind of maybe explains why I'm doing what I'm doing now. But anyway, we're moving on. Going past all the wonderful Konami ads. How do you feel, JT, about the unified Konami artwork, comparing it to the NES, the Super? So the NES, of course, had all the silver boxes, and then when we get into Super Nintendo territory, we're kind of, I don't know, it doesn't seem as exciting. The art's nice, but it's not as unified. What do you think?
I'd say that's a fair assessment. Yeah, I do appreciate when like a particular like Konami or whatever, like you were saying back on the NES, when they have that unified theme across all their titles, so you could easily pick them out. Probably not as big of a deal now, but back then when they were on the store shelves and stuff, if you started following, like, you know, I was big into like Capcom or, you know, Konami as well, obviously. So you would look for that for sure. So yeah, I think they did themselves maybe a disservice by kind of deviating.
Yeah. What's up, Jet? How you doing? Yeah, with the NES games, you could tell if it was Capcom or Konami simply by the silver box or later on the purple box with Capcom, but
That's true.
Being nitpicky, really. What's up, Crow? Good morning. Yeah, so this is the screen I got to. I'm like, okay, it's Turtles in Time. Whatever.
See, look what it says at the top. Look what it says at the top.
January 1991.
Huge flub. Huge flub.
Yeah, this is not January 1991. So again, like, I'm not gonna rag on him because this was the infancy of gaming journalism. But how does something like this? Can you even see my pointer when I do that? No, you can't. How does something like January 1991 in the top left-hand corner? How does that get past the editors?
It's Ed, man.
Ed, just the editor.
Yeah, he was too busy fuming about some game. Probably didn't even pay attention. He was so angry.
What's going on, Raj? How you doing, buddy? Yep, that is JT in the flesh. Now you know what he looks like. There you go.
That's right. Forever burned into your mind.
Jesse says, between EGM, Wizard, and Beckett magazines, you'd be up to date on all the cool stuff. Yes, and I did read Beckett when I was into cards, for sure. Wizard was pretty sweet, too. Speaking of wizards, look at this guy. Look at this guy.
Whoa.
Let's Treasure Master's a game. Who didn't want to be this kid? Dude, like...
Yeah, look at that hat. Sweet.
The hat with the flip-up brim. He's got the typical shape for 80s glasses, the ringer shirt, and then he's got the swatch.
Oh, it is the swatch. He's got the protector on it even. You remember that? There was like a rubber one or a plastic one you could snap over the face of the swatch to protect it. He has that.
We're getting that's crazy lag with you here, buddy. I don't know what that is.
Oh, no. I'm sorry.
No, you're good now. That was just weird. It was like a little hiccup. You were talking like John Machida in Transformers. I was like, what the hell? What's going on there? We're good, though. Okay. I miss Old School Wizard. Yeah, I mean, I guess you could just Google all that stuff now, right, Matt? But you know what? I actually, when I was mailing out a bunch of this stuff for the 10K winners the other day, it was just in Canada. We have this place called Shoppers Drug Mart, which is just like a drugstore, but they also have a post office in it. And I went to the magazine aisles and I looked just to see, and I was going to pick up anything that they had for video games. They didn't have one thing, dude. Nothing.
Wow.
I was pretty bummed out, man. Even like a Minecraft book I would have got just to have that. But my point is, Matt, The physical wizard book, yeah, it's like these, right? Like this is cool digitally, but when you have it in front of you, I don't know, man. Miss it. State of the industry. All right. Well, oh, look at this. Steve's back. What's going on here?
Yeah, I was noticing the credits on the side. They got cute with him, so you don't even really get a sense, right? Because he's the manager, but then from there they treat it like they're in a band. You see that?
Yeah, we're getting crazy lag. So what I'm gonna do is just take you out. I'm gonna get you to restart your PC, and then the same link should be fine. Okay. There we go. JT will be back momentarily. Live television or internet programming. There you go. Okay, well, it's up to me here, ladies and gentlemen. So Steve's back. I don't know if Ed's in trouble. I don't know if Ed just had like kind of a temporary kind of. Well, Steve's like, well, Ed, we'll give you just a little bit here. You could do a couple editorials and we'll see how it goes. And I wonder if Ed got kicked out, or maybe Ed's just taking time off. Maybe they're going back and forth. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what that is, Dan. He's getting some pretty bad lag. So we'll fix that up. Don't you worry. We'll fix that out. If not, Dan, we'll be calling you for some IT, some fly IT stuff right on the spot. Steve's back. Here we go. The state of the industry. It is a welcome honor to once again be contributing to the editorial page of Electronic Gaming Monthly magazine. Much has changed both at EGM and in the industry at large since the last time I contributed to this section of the magazine almost a year ago. It's been 12 months since Ed had taken over. Where has time gone? But these important events have done nothing but strengthen my belief that video games are here to stay. And isn't that something that's wild? To think that video games were a fad? And that I remember this. I remember not knowing because we did have that huge crash in 1983. It was hard to really believe that video games might not be around. That's crazy. All right, let's bring JT back in. You're back?
Hey. Hopefully that's better.
Yep, that's perfect. So yeah, it's been a year. I know you missed most of that, but it's been a year in magazine terms since we've been reading, since Steve's done an editorial. So this is crazy. Crazy.
Huh.
In your hands, you now hold the largest video game magazine ever made for American game players. Okay, well, I guess I can't read anymore. I'll see you guys later. Bye. I didn't know that at the time. It is the culmination of many hours of fun and games, not to mention a strong commitment made to you by both the staff at EGM and the dozens of video game publishers that are now producing softs for systems ranging from Nintendo to the Super NES. The industry recognizes the important role that we play, and many of the most important companies have chosen to use our pages to deliver their important messages to you. Amazing. We're going to tag it off here. Round one, Canadian school system versus the U.S. school system. JT, you're up, buddy.
I'm sorry. Do I read from the very beginning? Is that where you left off?
From the very beginning of EGM. Okay. Yep. You're in. Let's go.
All right. I'm doing it. From the very beginning of EGM, our goal was to always deliver the hottest information, be it a game system in secret development or a hidden playing tip. And with dozens of
He's too good. He's too good.
We feel we fulfill the job with info as good as can be found. EGM now has the representatives in both Europe and Japan and has continued to expand its global reach by forming WorldNet, a special organization of leading video game publishers. We have always tried to be prompt in our reporting, and as always, we greatly appreciate any feedback you can give us on our performance. Do I keep going?
Okay, yeah, I'll take over at the Yule. So you got one more to go.
All right. We've always reached out to our advertisers to create interactive inserts that will not only attract you to new games, but will also be helpful in playing your favorite titles, aka hot softs. In this issue, Atari has provided you with a special 32-page mini magazine that highlights their new library of games, not to mention similar supplements from SNK Home Entertainment and Electric Avenue. I don't know what that is.
Nice. Well, dude, round one, I think you took that. I only counted one so that's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's
I
pretty
try
good.
to eliminate the filler words. Yeah.
Raj says, I love hot softs. Yeah, buddy.
Oh,
Who doesn't love
doesn't?
hot softs? You'll also find a new regular feature in this edition of EGM through a special agreement with the American Amusement Machine Association. Okay. The governing body of the coin-op video game industry, EGM, will represent the arcade game manufacturers with a section that focuses on high-tech advances that these games possess over their smaller console counterparts. Man, before I go any further, I just want to say, as we were going through the 90s, guys, and home consoles were getting closer to realism, it was exciting, but in the back of our minds, we had that impending doom because I was always thinking, okay, well, what's going to happen when the home console is as good as the arcade? We all knew it was coming. So as cool as it was to get, arcade ports of Daytona and stuff like that, it was the end of the arcades, at least in North America. So I'm going to cry now.
Me too.
Be sure to check out the coverage of the AMOA convention as well as the first picks of Turtles 2. Many of the most popular sections we have also been expanding thanks to EGM's new size and scope. You'll find not one, but two or three special play, super play specials. Shut up! Okay, just one folly. Super play specials with mega maps and intense game tips on Ninja Gaiden 3, Sonic the Hedgehog, and Super R-Type. Our features include Batman, The Return of the Joker, Rolling Thunder 2, and Super Ghouls and Ghosts, which is part of our Super NES special. All right, take it away, buddy. You got the last one.
In short, EGM gives you more tricks, more maps, more reviews, and more pages, while other video game magazines are giving you less info and increasing their coverage price or their cover price by as much as $1. EGM is providing almost 3 times as much news, reviews, and previews for the same low price. While it may not be true of the other guys, the only thing you'll ever see EGM increase is the size of the magazine. I wish to thank you for supporting EGM over the past year and hope that you enjoy the many new and exciting additions we have planned for all of our video game publications in 1992. You can rest assured that EGM will remain the biggest and best. Thanks for your loyal support. Steve Harris, publisher.
Good stuff, buddy. Good stuff. Rila, good to see you. Been a while. How can I change my vote to the arcade? I don't think you can, my friend. I think once you put in a vote, it's like me when I screwed up the poll this morning. I did a typo and I can't even edit it. So I think once you put it in, that's kind of it.
Wow.
Right? Sonic the Wedge Pig. Oh my God. Hey, Justin, how you doing? Just got done watching Ninja 3 The Domination. What a classic. Yeah, buddy. That's Sho Kazugi. Not at his best, as I think he's just the villain in that one. But that's a great one. Revenge of the Ninja for life. Oh, look at this. Bart versus the Space Mutants. Man, did you ever have one of these? These aren't Tiger. What is this? This is
Acclaim. They're Acclaim.
Oh, Acclaim, yeah. Dr. Larch.
But no.
Come on, man. Yeah, these were very primitive portables. Kind of like Game & Watch back in the day. How would you even describe how these work? Like it's go ahead.
Well, it's a static screen. It's basically black and white, right? And then you have like a little. They don't even really move. The different graphics will blink on and off to give the impression that you're moving. It's usually really basic gameplay, and they're very boring. Very boring.
Yeah, I will say that Acclaim has never been one of my favorite companies. And as much as I dislike the Tiger ones, these look worse.
Yeah,
they look like you would go to like a flea market and it would be like a knockoff, Simpsons with like 2 S's or whatnot.
Right.
All right, the letters to the editor.
Oh, everyone's favorite.
Here we go. Wade Vids, what's up? Oh no, it's Rick Sanchez in the 90s. Ah, that's Rick and Morty, right?
Oh,
Is
okay.
that is that what that is? I don't know, Rick and Morty. I think that's what you mean.
Sure.
I think that's what you mean. Okay.
That makes sense.
Again, buddy, you can choose whatever one you want. Oh my God, look at all the words in this one. Oh boy.
So many, all of the words. They used them all this time.
Okay, well, I'm gonna start with the Neo Geo because I love it.
Okay.
So let's do more Neo Geo. So this is Michael DeLay from Long Beach, California. He's demanding more Neo Geo. So Michael writes in and says, "Back in March, you published one of my letters to the editor." Okay, Michael, dude, my dude, if you were lucky enough to even get one, and now you're going to complain, I'm reading ahead, but I'm just saying. Oh, excuse me. My question dealt with the reasons why you were giving so little coverage to the Neo Geo system. You then said you would be the sole magazine to rate the cards. You even reviewed Magician Lord and Ninja Combat. You said that I should not let my subscription die out because EGM would be reviewing the cards. Now it's almost September and there's been no more reviews. Hey, what the heck happened? I mean, Michael's got a good point here. Michael's got a good point. So is this Ed or this is just the editor? So I guess this is Steve writing back. Steve says, we had planned to begin our Neo Geo coverage the very next issue, but it took longer than expected to arrange for loan carts. Interesting. JT, I always kind of wondered if developers just sent them games and they just got to keep them. Do you know
Right.
what I mean? Like what happens after they review the game?
Loan
But
cards.
loaner
You don't
cards.
think that may just be a Neo Geo thing, right? Because those cards were like $200, right?
It might be. SNK is probably like, yeah, we need those back because they got to go
Yeah.
to the arcade. Rest assured, everything is now in place, and our Neo Geo coverage starts this very issue. Check out our exclusive 16-page Neo Geo insert beginning on page 191. As usual, it's here first, and then only in EGM. Enjoy. Sick. Hype for that. Choose, my friend, out of these. Well, there's not a small one here. Good luck.
I'm gonna do on the take, and I'm gonna try and do WillLo justice on this one.
You got it.
Everyone knows that this mag has the best coverage, info, and picks. Many people, including me, usually use the ratings as a guide of what to buy and also reassurance of a new purchase. However, the fact that this and all mags run on advertisement support stirs up an important issue. Do the ratings tend to support games from high-paying advertisers? Veneration products and electronic arts are two examples of what looks like strong advertisers. I own a Genesis and look at the ratings from games produced by these manufacturers. Sometimes, however, it seems as though these ratings are somewhat curved for these companies. Are you urged by companies to rate games higher because they buy a lot of ads? How is this problem dealt with? Are ratings just unpressured, honest ratings or not? Or are they under the table dealings with some or all of the companies? Let your readers know.
Oh, buddy. That was beautiful.
I
I
felt that one in.
know WillLo is watching from the hellhole that he's in right now. We all
He's
saw
rough.
WillLo's pictures in the Discord, and this poor guy is on a
Yeah.
tropical island. I mean, we're all, like you said, buddy, we're all praying for him. We're praying for WillLo, but I think that did him justice. So good job. Good job.
Awesome.
Willie 2.0. Look at these guys loving it. Willie 2.0. JT is nailing it. Coming to theater near you, Packers. I love that we're making fun of this letter, but the issue, as asked about, still a major issue to this day. Yes, and I was just going to say that before JT reads, I guess it's Steve's reply. Yeah, let's talk about that. So, what do they call it now, JT? Paid shills? Isn't that the term we hear now?
Yeah, that's one of them. Yeah, for sure.
Recently, with Ubisoft and Star Wars Outlaws, we heard, a bunch of streamers and influencers, YouTubers, they all got early access to review the game and a paid trip to whatever Star Wars land in California or Florida, whatever it was. But
Wow.
how do you feel about that? Now, before you answer, I just want to say that nowhere did I read that Ubisoft said you have to keep the review in a positive light. I don't know if anyone in the chat knows any different, but they were gifted early copies of Outlaws and a trip to Star Wars World. How do you feel about that, JT?
I mean, obviously the implication there is that they're doing that in return for a good review. They don't even have to say that, right? Anybody who has half a brain would be like, "Oh, okay, that's the deal with the devil that they're making." And obviously, it's completely wrong if you're wanting to have any sort of credibility in what it is you're doing. If that can just be bought by somebody or rented for a review or two, then it's pretty meaningless. Like, what are you even doing? Like, why are we looking at these reviews if you can't trust them? So yeah, it's crap.
Yeah, I'm thinking here because this is a really great topic. Brian Gottlock from Naughty New York. It's a good topic because I know there are some reviews that go out and the developers ask the people, if you want to review this, you can, but you can't say anything negative about it. I think that's wrong. I don't think I've read anything about Ubisoft, but I don't know, man. It's a slippery slope, right? Like, what if let's put you in the hot spot, JT. Let's say you were gifted a copy of Outlaws and a trip with you and your significant other to Disney World to visit Star Wars Land. Like, would you, in good faith, write an honest review, or would you feel obligated to Ubisoft and be like, well, you know what? If I say Outlaws is crap, I might not get another free trip or game. What would you do?
I honestly, I would be truthful, or I just I wouldn't print I wouldn't publish anything about it, and the silence could probably speak to it just as much as a negative review. If you were like a high profile sort of person, like, why aren't they talking about it? Like, well, they wanted it to be positive or nothing really. So I chose nothing. But you see what Matt wrote though? I mean, it's pretty clear,
I was a reviewer who went on that trip to Disney for Outlaws review, and they got told to change the review. Really? Okay. Thank you for letting me know, Matt. I didn't know because I hadn't read anything about it had to be positive or not. I'm right with you. So if I was in that fortunate position, it would be difficult surrounded by Star Wars stuff. You have the life-size Falcon right there, Star Wars fever. But in the end, I mean, yeah, like I would have to be honest. I would want to be honest because if you break that, you lose the trust of your audience.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Like if they come to you, like if I did reviews and you guys were coming to me and I said, "Oh yeah, this game is really good," and then everyone played it and they're like, "It's not good, man."
Right.
I would have to be. I mean, and if Ubisoft didn't want to send me another copy of New Assassin's Creed or Ghost Recon or whatever, oh well. I mean, if they can't take the truth of the matter, then they can't take the truth of the matter. I would risk losing getting another free copy to be honest. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, it's your credibility on the line at the end of the day, right? So
Yeah, I mean, there's very few reviewers, dude, that I go to. I still go to EGM, but I think we talked about this last year, where for the most part I've sworn off reading anything or watching videos. I mean, I will once in a while, but I've definitely cut back because I just wanted to form my own opinion.
Yeah, for sure.
HEC, welcome on in, buddy. Just watched a short video showing that the Dragon Quest III revamp is on schedule for release in the fall. That is one game I'm looking at. Nice, dude. Yeah, that's going to be great. That's why I don't pay attention to IGN reviews. You think they get paid off, Matt? I don't know. They're the biggest gaming publication on the internet, so I don't see why they'd have to take paid bribes if that is what you're saying. What's up, Raj? Were you ever lucky enough to play 4-player Perfect Dark? Oh, dude, yeah. Yeah, I had a different group of pals. The same group of pals that I played Goldeneye with kind of moved on, and they were my bandmates too, and a lot of them didn't keep up with it. I think the Dreamcast was their last system. So I had a different group of mates I played Perfect Dark with, but absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, well, that was a great conversation. So JT is going to read, again, I think it's Steve's reply to this really great topic.
You bring up a lot of very good questions, Brian. The two companies you mentioned are indeed heavy advertisers in not only our magazine, but also in most of the others. Are we influenced by that? Definitely not. Do we skew our ratings for them? Again, no way. Check our track record. Budokan got a 3, 3, 4, 5. Torta Thrash got a 3, 4, 3, 4. James Pond got a 4, 4, 3, 6.
Right.
Hardly impressive ratings. Final Zone for Renovation got a 4, a 5, a 4, and a 4. Again, well below average. Do the big companies get good ratings? Perhaps, but not because they are influencing people. The large companies are the ones who can afford spending much more time and money in developing, programming, testing, and fine tuning their products. That is why John Madden gets all nines and Gaius in 8999. Yeah, I don't even know how is that pronounced.
That's a good point, man, because we were all making fun of it the other day. I call it Gyrez, but it's interesting to hear how you pronounce it.
It's too many vowels. Yeah.
Yeah.
Our ratings consist of 4, not just one independent opinions. Wait, our ratings. Okay, that makes more sense. Our ratings consist of 4, not just one independent opinions. Actually, it's not hard to tell who is skewing their ratings. Rent the game, evaluate it yourself, and check how all the megs reviewed it. It won't be too difficult to tell who rates high.
Nice job, buddy. Nice job. Crow says IGN gave Concord a 7, if that tells you anything. Yeah, the words that came out of, I can't remember that reviewer's name, but the things that he was saying did not justify a 7. But anyway, there have been instances where certain IGN reviewers hadn't even fully played the game they were reviewing, caused a bit of ruckus a few years ago. Good morning, Mo. What's up, buddy? Yeah, that is interesting. I don't know. It's a good topic. It's a good topic. I know when I was at GameStop, Ubisoft, EA, a lot of the big AAA companies would send us managers every game, and all we had to do was play it and upsell it to the customer. And nowhere in them sending us this press kit did it say you can't talk badly about it. So I was always honest. When the 9th Assassin's Creed came out, people are like, "Oh, how's Assassin's Creed like Unity?" I'm like, "It's terrible, man. It's horrible." So there you go. The great debate. Oh, look at this one. This is gonna be good. The great debate: Super Nintendo versus Genesis versus Turbo. Turbo. It's still hanging in there, JT. It's still hanging in there. I feel, dude, that it was pretty good in 1991 still, but it's going downhill. Okay. Yeah. Dear EGM, I was wondering what is better, Genesis, TurboGrafx, or the Super NES, from Robbie Carboni over here from Helmet, California.
That's just where the band's from. The same name.
There you go. Maybe Robbie's the singer of Helmet. Oh my god.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Way back in issue 8, which is still my favorite issue, we posed the question as to whether the TurboGrafx or Genesis is better. Now the Super Nintendo is out, and hundreds upon hundreds of letters have come in similar to the one above. Most players are very opinionated. No. That's not true. Mm-hmm. Oh god, my smart aleckness, I lost my spot. Most players are very opinionated, usually in the direction of one system that they own. Below are 3 to start off the great debate. How do you feel? What are your opinions? Oh, that's the end of mine.
Yeah.
I thought that was all one thing. So there you go. Let's continue the great debate. You're up, buddy. So just go to the one below it.
Okay. When I saw the Super NES, I couldn't believe my eyes. I have to tell you that it's the ugliest design since the Atari 2600 or Intellivision. That's harsh.
Gee,
They need
gee.
to go back to the drawing board. If I had one, I'd hide it under some sort of cover. Ugh. The Japanese Super Family looks hot. Ooh. Why did they make such drastic and stupid changes? The only good thing is the 6-button controller. And that's with the dorky name, or what's with the dorky name? Can't they do better than that? Styling aside, I think Nintendo is too late to even compete with the Genesis. Genesis is on their second generation of games, while Nintendo is floundering around with losers that are plagued with slowdown and flicker.
Oh my god.
Genesis has the sports and RPG categories already locked up. For my money, I'll take Streets of Rage over Final Fight,
No.
uh, Gyruss over Gradius 3, and Sonic the Hedgehog over Mario 4. The Genesis cruises at over 7 megahertz, while the SNES limps along at 3.5. Add in the CD-ROM to the Genesis, and the SNES is totally lame. There is no comparison. William Miller. That's the one I should have done with the Lisp. That really earned it.
Yeah, it's
Oh, well.
Ronald Miller from Can't Buy Me Love. Is it Kanan? Rumbles into the stream. Does that mean like row, 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 like morning grumps, or you just rumble in like with power? Super Mario. Yes, Sonic is better than Mario 4. Go buy me lunch. Give me a break. That's the worst thing I've ever heard. Okay, so let's ask the chat and let's ask JT. What camp were you? Because we know that you had to pick one, or did you back in the day?
Yeah. Well, I never had. Well, okay, they're only talking about those two. Okay, yeah.
Well,
So
Super, Genesis, or Turbo. So you're gonna find probably each letter will be to each
okay.
system. But were you like on board with just one company, and did you fight that fight, or were you like, I don't
Yeah.
know?
So I didn't have the foresight that you did, Jay. So basically, I had a Nintendo, just the NES,
Mhm.
with like over 40 games, and the Genesis came out. So I sold it all. Right? It's like I need to get this Genesis. It has Altered Beast packed in, man. Like I got to
Yeah,
get it.
yeah.
And so I got rid of all of my NES collection. It had to have been like an early day because this guy was selling used video games, and this is like whatever 1990 or something. That's pretty early for that, but sold it, got the Genesis, liked it for what was out at the time, but I think if my memory serves, Super Nintendo came out, and I think they were first to market with the Street Fighter 2 champion.
They had just the World Warrior in 1992, yes, and then Genesis got Champion Edition. That was their combat
But
because
that's okay.
their licensing agreement, Nintendo wouldn't allow the same game on their system, so that's why they had to put Champion Edition, which was better anyway for Sega.
Right, but me being very, again, just short-sighted, I was like, "Oh no, I gotta get Street Fighter." So I sold my Genesis and I got the Super Nintendo for Street Fighter, and then of course there was like no blood in it, so I was like, "Oh, this sucks."
Right.
But it was fine. I think my Super Nintendo days were relatively uh, limited, though. You said that was 92 when that came out, the Street Fighter.
Street Fighter was, I think it was July 92.
Man, your memory's crazy.
With that stuff, yes. With some other things, no. With dates, yes. For games. Well, dude, like it was we talked about this on previous streams, right? Where it was not common practice to have all the systems. And I have this like weird, sick attachment to things I owned, especially back then. And I think it was because they were my escape from my family life. Anyone who's seen Nintendo Quest knows I'm not going to get into it here. So I didn't want to get rid of my Nintendo because my grandma, who passed away shortly after I got Mario 2, got me Mario 2. So I'm like, I don't want to get rid of this, despite everyone making fun of you and being like, oh, well, that's old graphics. Nobody wants that. So, like, very early on, I'm like, okay, I'm going to have to sweet talk my mom into getting me another one, which I accomplished. And then 2, I'm going to have to get a job. because I want to play all of these, so I'm going to have to work. So I guess that was a good thing, right? I started working early, but don't beat yourself up for that, buddy, because it was very uncommon for people to have more than one of these systems, right? So a lot of people did that. They traded in their old one for the new one they wanted.
What was the first job you had?
Dishwasher at a place called Reuben J's.
So wait, how old were you?
13.
Wow. Okay.
I only got it because my best friend at the time, Skylar, who is also my mate in gaming. Why is this arm acting up? He got it for me, and I don't know how we were able to get jobs at 13. And it wasn't even under the table; like we got paychecks and stuff. I guess it was a different time, right? But
wow, I did a paper route to support my habit. When I was like 12. So
yeah.
I understand. Yeah.
Okay, so let's go. Oh, Raj says JT. I'm not sure why, but I pegged you as Scottish. He's not. He's not. He's from the old US of A.
Yeah, I'm just boring old American.
Mo says, being my brother and myself, we had Sega and Nintendo. Dude, you got it locked down.
Yeah.
You got it
both
locked down. Fantasia, what's up? Jobs at 13. Illegal child labor. Maybe that would have been 1990 or 91. I got that, but I didn't care, man. I actually liked being a dishwasher. I don't know why. Probably because I got to work with my buddy, right? So we just talked about all this stuff.
Yeah. You have like no responsibility as a dishwasher. I did that for a while. Yeah.
I mean, it's not fun, man. It's not. But I just knew that, and I think I worked like 4-hour shifts, right? It was like 9 at night to 12 or whatever. But it was like I knew that I was working towards games, and it was all games, right? The toys were on the back shelf because we were getting into girlfriends and stuff like that. And back then, you didn't buy toys to collect. At least in my world, you bought toys to play with. So it was like, I want these Toy Biz Marvel characters, but I can't because that's embarrassing. Again, we've talked about that too. JT, I want to hear your best Scottish accent attempt. Says Packers.
Oh man,
you don't have to. I can't do it. If you...
I'm just making an ass of myself, probably. It's not Scottish. It's crap. It's just the Mike Myers.
That's good.
Everyone does that. So yeah,
I would have done like something from Train Spotting, probably. But yours is definitely better than mine. Okay, let's move on to the next letter. This is from Brian McSwain from Sanford, Florida. I own a Genesis and just bought the Super NES. Was this guy a dishwasher too? He must have been. Jeez. From the graphics, sound, play control, and mode 7, I believe that the Super NES blows the Genesis away. See, come on. You can't say that until the honeymoon phase of the system wears off. I feel like this guy just got his brand new Super Nintendo, and he's like, this is the best thing. Everyone loves your accent, buddy. There you
go. I found a new calling. Yeah. Now I can make money that way.
Don't get me wrong. I enjoy playing my Genesis and just bought some great games, but it can't come close to the Super Nintendo. What the Super Nintendo can do. The graphics and sound are the best I've ever seen and heard, but Mode 7 is what really puts the Genesis to shame. Yes, the Genesis can catch up to the Super Nintendo, but it will cost me another $350 to get the CD-ROM. Okay, come on. Attaching the Sega CD to the Genesis far surpasses the Super Nintendo in terms of what it can do. Come on now. Granted, there is some slowdown in some of the new Super Nintendo games, but if you recall, the same problem occurred on the Genesis when it first came out. Give the Super NES programmers 6 months, and they'll be able to solve the problem. Then where will the Genesis be? Having both, I'll take the Super Nintendo any day. From Brian Lips from Florida. Good job, Brian. Nice work. All right, John. You got John.
Oh, I thought that was a rebuttal. Okay. What's the big deal? All I hear from you, okay.
See, it's not the Canadian school system, baby.
Good times. What's the big deal? All I hear you do is rave over the Genesis CD-ROM. Then you say that most of the games will be Japanese RPGs and military simulations. And finally, you say it won't be out until next summer. Forget that. The Turbo with its CD-ROM will have you what you want, will give you what you want now. They have the extra years of programming for their CD-ROM, and it shows. Where can you get motion video in games? Sherlock Holmes? Turbo. Where can you get the best sound? Ys 2? Turbo. Where can you get the best action in a game? Valis 2? Turbo. Add in the new games like Loom, Ys 3, Valis 3, and 4, and it came from the desert. That's weird. And you'll
That's like
see there's
that's a
no
game.
need to. I know, but it's not really on the same level with these
Oh
other.
yeah.
Yeah, huh? You'll see there's no need to dream about what a non-production CD-ROM can do, as you can have it all now with the Turbo.
John
That
Sykes from Detroit Lakes, Minnesota.
He's just making up stuff now. That doesn't exist.
Pook Ninja, welcome on in, my friend. Good to see you. I got the Genesis for Christmas 1989 and bought the Super Nintendo when it came out, and I always preferred the Genesis over the Super Nintendo. Both are great systems. Well, welcome to the stream. Good to see you. Thanks for letting us know. What would you choose, everyone in the chat? If you had to pick out of the three, you know I love to have my what if scenarios. What would you pick? Genesis, Super Nintendo, or TurboGrafx? In fact, we could probably do a poll.
There you go. Wasn't the Mode 7 thing that the Brian McSwain talks about? Was Mode 7 the thing that Super Nintendo could do where it would like push out and in on the screen, like when the Super C? That was a big deal.
Yeah. It was best showcased in Pilot Wings, which was always just like a tech demo.
Right.
It's like zooming in and out, but the closer you got, or the closer the image got, the more distorted it was.
Right. Yeah. I remember getting Super C, and that was factored, and there was like a boss or something where he would like come right at you, and he would try and like slam onto your character.
Yeah.
It was a pretty good game.
Ghetto, good morning. After the honeymoon phase with my old system, I put a blonde wig on. Then good to go. By the way, I want to give a shout out to Mutron. I'm looking at the YouTube chat. I don't think anyone's at the 24-month mark yet as channel member, but let me tell you something. There's a nice surprise when you get there because Mutron stayed up for weeks to create the graphic of the most iconic, legendary gamer of all time, Randy's mom, aka Anne, and that is now the image at the 24-month mark by your name. So thanks again, Mutron, for that. Where are we at? Mega CD up to, what is this? Super NES and Super VHS.
Oh,
Super. Okay, I don't know what this is. Let's figure it out. I bought the Super NES on its release date, and I worship it. True. Since I have a new monitor style TV and immediately hooked up my Super NES using the audio video cables, the graphics are crystal clear and the stereo is truly mind blowing. According to an older issue of EGM, the next step up is to use the optical Super VHS cable for the system. My question is, how much better can the picture get? Buddy, you don't even know. This guy doesn't even have a name. Oh, there he is. TJ Rappel. My question is, how much better can the picture get? Will the difference be noticeably better? Is the cable worth the extra $20? I would say yes. I would say it is. The Japanese Super Famicom, Super VHS. JT, what the heck is a Super VHS cable?
So it didn't click immediately, but then as the letter went on, I remembered because I had that as well. It's just another variation on like how the RCAs, how it was white, red, and then yellow or whatever. The S video was supposedly better picture, but you're still limited, right? The TV, it's still the TV. It's 480 pixels or whatever, however it's measured, but it's 480. So I always thought this stuff was kind of funny because it was never going to get better than that until we got onto HD TVs,
Yeah, wasn't this called back in the day? Wasn't this called like stereo cable?
That's what they're showing. The picture looks a lot like the You know what it is? The difference is that the black. That would be the difference because the
That's for
normal one.
sound, yeah, because we're not at audio video yet. We
Yellow.
don't have the red, white, and yellow. So this is stereo
Yeah,
cable, I think. Interesting.
I
Uh,
never had.
Ghetto says that you're almost a Whitebeard clone. Look at that. Look at the side by side comparison there.
Right.
Brothers
Someone's got it.
separated.
Yeah.
Okay, so Steve says we have to agree that there is a world of difference between the standard channel 3 hookup, the RF unit, and the one using the audio video cable. The stereo sound and ghost free picture is something that everybody should try. The next step up, the Super VHS cable, does offer some improvement in the picture. The main difference is the colors on the screen. There are somewhat less colors, fringing, and overlap. Expect an improvement of about 10 to 15%. Is that worth $20 to anybody? To many people, this will not be noticeable. Yeah, I mean, if you're RoboCop, maybe I wouldn't notice it. The price of the cable isn't overly expensive, and it's worth trying, but don't expect to see a major improvement. I don't know. What's $20? Like, what's $20 now, guys? Can someone look that up for me? It's probably what I would say a $40 cable. I don't know. JT, would you get something like this back in the day?
I might have been tricked into it if I thought it would actually work. I know more now than I did then. So, but I think the TV has to have the input on it as well. It's not just like,
Yeah.
hey, go buy the cable and it's going to work. It didn't work that way.
Do you guys remember in the heyday of the Xbox and the PlayStation 2? Do you guys remember that there was those? Do you remember monster cables? Do you guys remember monster component cables? My buddy, I won't say his name, but my buddy was the ultimate tech guy. He had everything like that, and he had the gold tipped monster cables, which would give you like that much more clarity with your component signal on an Xbox. Dude, I don't give a lips. For me, it's just like, does it play? There's no snow, there's no static. I'm fine with it. I don't need any of that stuff. But this would definitely be in my buddy Aldo. I'll just say his name. My buddy Aldo. He was always up with that stuff, and this would have been in his wheelhouse. 4678. Wow, that's crazy. Oliver, what's up, mate? Jay, in your younger years, which was the late 90s, best fighting game trilogy you played? Final Fight 1 through 3 for the Super NES or Streets of Rage? I would say Final Fight, despite it only being one player. They fixed that with 2 and 3. But good to see you, Oliver. Thanks for hanging, buddy. What about you? What would you pick? Most people in the community here like Streets of Rage better, but I like Final Fight because I'm a Capcom. That's stream sponsored by Capcom. Just kidding. $50. Yeah.
Did Final Fight 2 and 3, did those get released in the arcade?
No.
I didn't think so.
No, just Super Nintendo. Yeah, they were pretty good too. Especially 2 is really great. Okay. So you're up, buddy. Whichever one you want to choose. 2 here.
Well, probably not that response. All right, I'll do the Mega CD update, but that response is pretty crazy. Each month when I buy your magazine, I find that issue is better than the previous. First, I thought it was just due to the increase in size, but the content continues to improve also. I'm a devoted Genesis player, and I find the Mega CD-ROM to be the ultimate accessory. Have you been able to learn more about this great item? Ron Ward in Newark, California.
Well, Ronnie Ward. Is it the ultimate accessory? It's a peripheral. I wouldn't call it an accessory.
1991, maybe.
Come on, Ron. Come on, Ronnie Ward. Get your stuff together. Don't write into our magazine. I'm just saying. Get your stuff together, man. Sorry. Go ahead.
Indeed, we have. For the full story, check out this month's EG Express column starting on page 38. Sega and Micronet invited the most important magazines in the world to learn about, see, and try out production number 001 of the Mega CD-ROM. 10 magazines from Japan, 1 from Taiwan, and only 1 from the US. Guess who? I bet it was Nintendo Power. We're invited to this monumental announcement. At this event, Sega announced that the Mega CD-ROM will go on sale in Japan on December 2nd, plus or minus 1 week. All the specs announced previously have not changed, and some further clarification and comparisons were made. Because of the huge 6 megabit of RAM, the Mega CD-ROM can produce motion video 3 times the size as those done in Sherlock Holmes for the TurboGrafx. Also, with the ability to do biaxial rotation in hardware, arcade games like Assault can now be done. True flight simulators, which require height, width, and depth, the SNES Mode 7 doesn't have the third dimensional capability, are possible for the first time on a cartridge machine. They keep talking about that, the Sherlock Holmes on the TurboGrafx, and now they're making it sound like it's better on the Sega CD. But my friend had that. He I think it came with it when he got the Sega CD, and it was rough, and the load times insane.
Dude, I'll let you in on a little secret. I've never played a TurboGrafx CD. I've never even held one. I'm just trying to think. I used to own Street Fighter 1 from the Turbo CD. They called it Fighting Street for some reason. I used to own that just because it was rare, but I never had a Turbo CD, so I can't speak to the load times. Can you believe that stuff, man?
It's funny.
It's unbelievable. I want to find one, but they've always been expensive. They still are expensive.
Right. And the games are expensive.
The games are, yeah. Pook Ninja X says Final Fight was good, but Streets of Rage was better back then. Packers, I recall my dad bought our first microwave in the mid 80s for $400. Imagine today would spend $900 on one. Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy. Can you imagine what would have happened if Sega invited representatives from Nintendo Power to a Mega CD panel? Yeah. It for those of you who don't know, I'm sure everyone does, but it's the Sega CD. In Japan, it was called the Mega CD. Yeah, I wonder if Nintendo would have gone. I don't know. I was never Nintendo Power, I think, is the exception, but I was never a big fan of magazines that came out for just one brand. In the 2000s, we had the PlayStation Mag and the Xbox magazine. They were cool for the demos and stuff, but I liked EGM because it kind of covered everyone. It was inclusive. You know what I'm saying?
Well, those in-house magazines also, though, are obviously incredibly biased, right? So you couldn't count on that for a real review like we were talking about earlier.
Great Sega insert from Noah Freer of Los Angeles, Colorado. I just got my copy of your October issue and I had to fax you my comments. High tech, Noah. First, I get all 3 of the mags and I couldn't believe the difference. 82 pages, 118, and then 204 pages. Your Sega insert, awesome, was larger than your competition's whole magazine. I used to think that all mags were about equal, but now it's clear who really leads the pack. Your Sonic maps have to be seen to be believed, and the Star Wars and Empire coverage blew away those who had special coverage. How are you going to top it this November? Noah, good letter, buddy. And it's there's some early pressure on EGM to be the best. This is EGM just released Nevermind, and now they have to follow it up. How are they going to do that?
Got to get Steve Albini in there.
They got to get Albini in there to do a more raw sound.
Mm-hmm.
As you can see from this issue, we did top October's telephone book size mag. Where do we get to the mid to late 90s? They were like Sears catalogs. I'm not even kidding. EGM was jam-packed, especially when you got September to December. At 200... brown noser. He just wants a free sub. At 274 pages, we have just created the largest issue of a U.S. monthly game magazine ever. Competition? What's that? Oh, jeez.
Wow. Shots fired.
Shout out to my buddy Thor. There he is again.
Comerica.
Thor, who has signed, I can't reach it. I have a flyer from Nintendo World Championships from 1990, straight from Thor, and I got that signed. I can't get it. But shout out to my buddy, man. Look at this guy. He's looking dashing as ever. Dashing as ever, Thor. Good for you.
It's sponsored by Comerica.
Interesting too, right? An unlicensed company.
Right, yeah.
Thor didn't give a lips.
Exactly. He's the bad boy of gaming, yeah.
Dude, he's like, I want an NWC. Now what? Now I'll go where I want. How about that, Nintendo?
Yeah.
Go where I want.
They like them apples.
All right, my friend. Choose your destiny.
Ooh. I'm not gonna do that one. Let's do EGM at CES. First off, I would like to tell you that I had the pleasure of attending the CES in Chicago. What an experience. I had a wonderful time seeing all of the games and new technology that your magazine had informed me about so long ago. I also want to tell you how proud I am of your publishing power and generosity at CES. You guys were so much more popular than any other magazine booth. I was there for first day when you ran out of all of your magazines. Then you brought cartons of fresh issues. And from out of nowhere, there was a huge flood of people who practically crushed me trying to get their hands on one. It's like the Rolling Stones, man.
Yeah.
They cleaned you out in about 10 to 15 minutes. From the look of things, you really were a hot item. Whoa. Cord Barrett, DeCoin, Illinois. Editor, we did have fun at CES, and there was quite a rush to get our new, at the time, Terminator 2 issue. Over the period of the show, we gave thousands upon thousands of copies away, including issues of our different magazines. You better get to our booth early at the January CES show, Cord, because if the trade made a rush for our little 128-page July issue, just think what they'll do to get our 272-page telephone book. So CES in Chicago, what was the one that was in Vegas? Was that CES as well?
Yeah, the Consumer
So move.
Electronics Show. Yeah, this was, but it was like, I mean, they would show like from new calculators to like games, right? Like games didn't really have their own thing, not till I think it was E3 was the first just games expo. Yeah, the CES back in the day was the thing, and they would do it a couple times a year. Unlike E3 was just like once a year.
I see.
So we got hot news and frustrating game. Well, I think let's do frustrating game. E3, man, I don't know. I think it was in different spots. I remember it being in California.
Yeah, I thought it was in Vegas. At least that's where it ended up anyway.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Frustrating game from Carl Lieb from Buena Park, Colorado. It's California. Sorry, God. Since you claim to be the authoritative resource of video games, I'm giving you the chance to solve my problem. Jeez, Carl. I'm having extreme difficulty in getting past the 7th level and Battletoads. Is this really something that you want to write to Steve at EGM? Just saying. It now is getting frustrating as I keep on dying and then have to start all over again. It seems to take forever and get back to the 7th level just to try again and die. Is there an easy way to get past the difficult spot? Oh, come on, Carl. Dude, you got to do it, buddy. You just got to do it. Oh my God, I didn't see the big
It is interesting though, the response. There's a product in there I'm not familiar with.
Okay. Let's go to the next one. So that is Matthew Gold from New York, New York. I really appreciate the special game tips you print, especially the maps and secret codes. I've been having trouble with Battletoads. However, I was wondering if you had ever found any special tricks or codes that will let me skip to the higher levels, so I don't have to continue restarting at the I don't have to keep restarting at the very beginning when all the lives are gone. Can you help me? Let's get to some comments here. What's up, Jason? Good morning, my friend. What are you saying on a Sunday morning? Oliver says, Jay, when you played games from the NES, Super NES, and Sega Genesis, which magazine you heavily read to utilize strategy guides? EGM. Yeah, it depends on the game, but EGM started doing maps that I thought were the best. Nintendo Power was great for it too, but that was just obviously Nintendo stuff. Oh my God, look at this. Okay. You're not the only players who have written in with your problems of Battletoads. It's quite a difficult game, and unfortunately, there presently aren't any built-in tricks like a level select for the game. There is help, though, in the form of a brand new product due in stores shortly. It's called the Game Action Replay, or later just known as the Action Replay. You never heard of Action Replay, JT?
I don't think so.
It's kind of what took over from the Game Genie. I don't think it was Galoob, but it's made by Acemore International Limited of Herrenberg, is that Pennsylvania? This spectacular device, as described in last month's EGM Express column, allows you to store your position in any NES game. Wow. The memory is large enough to store the game up to 5 times. With a battery backup, so you can even remove the card and it won't lose your information. So in your case, you could get to the tough spot save. So it's just basically early save states. So in your case, you could get back to the tough spot, save the game with the Action Replay cartridge, and then continue playing the game. Should you die and lose all of your lives, you wouldn't have to start the game back to level 1. Access your save position on a GAR. What is a GAR? And begin again. Oh, yeah. Duh. From your last position. Best of all, the Game Action Replay is a licensed Nintendo accessory, so there won't be any problems like with the Game Genie.
That's an expensive item. I just looked it up on eBay. It's expensive.
Really?
It's over $100. Yes, people are trying to get $200 for that thing just loose.
Jeez. Dear Steve, should I just sell my Sega and go back to Atari? EGM was the Bible to me until Die Hard Game Fan Magazine. Oh, dude, yeah. We were just joking about that, but not really. Pook Ninja, that EGM was my textbook in school. Harrisburg is the state capital of Pennsylvania. Thank you, my friend. There you go. How many more do we got? Okay, we want to do the last one. Do you want to do the last one? Hot news. It's a small one.
Oh, well, if it's hot, I mean, yeah.
It's a hot, soft news.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. They haven't said that, right? So far? I don't
We'll
think
get to it. I think we'll get to it. Yeah. They've said a few other old terms, but not that one.
Okay. It's giving me anxiety. I have recently reviewed your September issue and it's great. I like to look at the other mags too, but they're just not the same. They don't have the news tomorrow like you guys have. I was wondering, how do you guys get your news and who gets the information for you? John Polson, Tampa, Florida. Getting the latest news is not a very easy thing to do, John. It takes a lot of telephone calls and many special trips to where the action is happening. That could be anywhere from Japan to England. Luckily, we all get to share in writing the about the breaking news. Yeah, see that doesn't make sense. We all get to share in writing the about the breaking news from the industry. So there you go.
So it's a number of different ways they get it.
Yeah, but boots on the ground. These are real reporters we're talking about.
That's right. It's no baby games. Big M, good morning. How's your Sunday treating you so far? Got your coffee? Welcome on in. The nuke kid on the block. It's Game Boy. Pass. We're getting to those hot reviews, ladies and gentlemen. Oh boy. Batman 2, which I believe is Return of the Joker. G.I. Joe 2, which is the Atlantis something. What's up, K-Mac? Good to see you. So JT, you can pick whatever reviewer you want, apart from old Steve. Whoever you pick will read what they've been up to the last month, what they've been working on.
Okay.
So Steve, What's a publisher to do when he's got so many killer carts to choose from? Poor Steve has been blasting through the best Super NES has to offer. And you know what? Like WillLo, I don't feel bad for Steve. I don't. Steve's been rocking and rolling. We got a super chat from HGC with the $5 donation. Thanks, buddy. Supporting the Bartlett Express. Also, did anyone get cool stuff in this week? I did, yes. It'll be out Tuesday in video form by Tuesday. But yeah, I'm saving it for the video, buddy. Anyone else, please chime in. All right, JT.
I'll go with. I'm gonna do Sushi X.
Sushi X. All right.
Sushi is still rubbing his head after mastering Street Fighter 2. He still thinks it will eventually surface on the SFX, but no one at Capcom will confirm the rumor. Wait, what was the SFX?
I guess it's Super Nintendo.
Famicom?
I think so, yeah. Famicom, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so Batman 2. I think this is, Return of the Joker by Sunsoft. Steve gives it an 8. I really like the original Batman a lot, and I have to say that this sequel lives up to the first game in most respects. The larger characters have much more depth and detail, and although the overall goal remains the same, the extra enhancements that Sunsoft has made was awesome. And I should say, with this particular Hawt Soft, that it was not based on anything. So the first game was loosely based off the Tim Burton movie. This one wasn't based off of anything, hence Return of the Joker. You're up, Sushi.
All right. Batman is back, but he's had a facelift this time. This title could easily be called anything if the main character didn't look so much like Batman. The batarangs are gone, and now one of my favorite heroes is strutting around with lasers strapped to his arm. Not bad, just not what I expected. 6.
Ooh, a 6. Yeah, I mean, I know you got to make it different from the original, but you got to put Batman's friggin' gadgets in there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Come on.
It needs to be faithful to the source material for sure. I never played the second one. The first one was hard enough. It's like, no, I'm good. It's a good game, though, the first one.
And I think I might go on record as to say that the first Batman was more difficult than Ninja Gaiden. Ninja Gaiden, every enemy dies in one hit, but Batman, you had to it had the same kind of difficulty, but you had to knock guys down a bunch of times with your little fist.
Right.
Very difficult. HCC got in the 04 Cobra APC. It's 95% complete. Nice, buddy. Congrats to you. That sounds like a fun weekend. G.I. Joe by Capcom. Steve gave it a 5. The original game, by the way, was made by Taxon. Okay, so Steve says, like its predecessor, G.I. Joe has all the elements of a hot action title. Yeah, buddy. With fairly crisp backgrounds and a variety of weapons, but the game just doesn't convey the same brand of excitement that you'd expect. The enemies have little personality, and the play is far from challenging. 5.
G.I. Joe isn't a bad cart at all with its Castlevania type scrolling and action. Choose your favorite Joe? Cool. The graphics? Well, let's just say they're 8-bit. Ditto for the sound. Anyway, G.I. Joe is an action-packed cart once you get the hang of the controls. Yo. Why do you just say yo? 7. You didn't finish that thought.
Well, you couldn't put a Joe in there. You couldn't squeeze 3 more letters in there, guys.
I'm saying, yeah. But come on.
Yeah, weird.
They're asleep at the wheel here, the editors.
Hyperzone by HAL America. Oh boy.
Ooh.
Ninja Gaiden 3, The Revengeancing. This, of course, is the ancient ship of doom, which I think makes 1 and 2 look like a baby game. Given that you have limited continues in Ninja Gaiden 3. It's hard. You ever played it, JT?
No, man. Just the first one.
I love it. I love the artwork, but this game is hard. And there was like a different emphasis with the enemies. There was a lot of robots A lot of
Look,
robots in there. So out of the three, it's my least favorite, but I think it's great.
look what it says though for difficulty. It's a slap in the face. Were they just harder back then? The people, the gamers.
I mean, if you think about all the games back then and how like Battletoads and the first Ninja game, they're just unforgiving. Maybe
This is
this one
relevant.
is easier. I don't know. But to me, the limited continues in any Ninja Gaiden is
Yeah,
not great.
yeah.
But an 8, nonetheless. Nonetheless, what has to be the best of the Gaiden series? Really? The ancient ship of doom makes up for both the lack of difficulty and awkward controls. It keeps previous Gaiden games from being full 10s. The theme has worn a little thin, but the action, sounds, and graphics are top notch. Okay, well, I'm going to have to play through this again if they say it's easy. 8.
Oh, future live stream.
Yep.
Ninja Gaiden 3 is a worthy challenge for anyone who has finished the previous quests. The graphics are the same, the music has that Ninja Gaiden feel, and the control is comparable. I especially like the new power-ups and the cool levels. With only 3 continues, it's rough. Well, he's acknowledging it right there. An 8, but they're still going to say it's easy. But okay.
And Sushi said it's a worthy challenge for
Yeah.
anyone who's finished the previous quests. Easy. I don't know. That again, it's EGM, so who knows? It might have been a typo they missed. I don't know. But
Yeah.
I wouldn't call any of the Ninja Gaiden games easy. I just wouldn't.
Not for babies.
This is Where in Time is Carmen Sandiego by Konami. Huh. You ever play these games, man?
I think they're the after my time. Yeah. Carmen
I
Sandiego.
never was into the text-based adventure / RPG. So I mean, I know of the game, but I've never played one really. But it's got a 5 here. Now we're starting to see, now that the Super Nintendo is out, I think, and again back then it was all about the graphics. We're starting to see that the Nintendo games, I think, aren't getting as great of ratings, but it might be Carmen Sandiego. Who knows? 5. The whole Carmen series has proven to be a big hit on computers, but the slow pace of the game and need to refer to outside source materials deflected any real fun I was having on the quest. This title does have an important educational slant, but it's not for shooter. It's not for shooter fans. What the hell does that have to do with anything, Steve? What are you saying over here?
Yeah.
Who cares about that? 5, whatever.
It kind of seems like it would go without saying it's nothing like a shooter game, but this title is a blast from the computer world of stardom. On the Nintendo, it comes off very well and offers a very interesting and sometimes educational quest for all players. The music isn't the best, and neither are the soundtracks, but the gameplay is easy to follow and fun. 6.
Yeah, not very good. This is still, even to this day, I'm definitely more open than I was back then to different styles of games, but I have no interest. Rosemary, how you doing? Welcome on in from Facebook land. Good to see you. Happy Sunday. Starflight for the Genesis. Never played this one either. Starflight.
I love it. I love it.
You love this game.
I love this game so much.
Nice.
Uh-huh.
Is this the prequel to Star Control? Do you know?
I don't know. Did Electronic Arts do that one?
Yeah.
Huh.
Might be then.
I would have to see. I would be very interested then if it is. I would have to see what kind of mechanics that game has. If it's like this, then I would have to buy that like right away.
So it is by EA, and it gets a 6 from Steve. Starflight uses the same concept we saw in Star Control. Oh, so Star Control was before this.
Okay.
Combining action with strategy of conquering the galaxy. Starflight, though, has a much more interesting display, better interaction between the action sequences and the plotting. Excuse me, the systems, and much more appealing tone. 6.
Another computer relative, Starflight blasts into regions unknown, displaying decent graphics and okay sound effects. No other Genesis exploration title goes into such detail, but maybe in the future, more designers will take the time to make good, solid games like Starflight 6. And no, that's very true. So like you assemble your crew, right? And there's different races. You can choose different race, and then you give them like their science officer. It's like Star Trek, you know?
Oh yeah,
So
okay.
so there's that menu, and it's just like there's your crew laid out, and you're on your ship. Then there's what they're showing in that little screenshot, which is when you're out in space with your ship, and you can do upgrades to your ship. You know, the armor, the weapons, the engines.
Oh, that's cool.
And it's just the entire universe. It's just wide open. It came with one of those like 90-page booklets.
Right.
And you had to read it. There was like coordinates, like star coordinates that you would need to know to go. But another aspect of you would go to planet surface, and then you had like a little rover, and you would mine and get different materials that you could refine and stuff, and do upgrades to your ship or sell them or whatever.
Oh, that's cool.
And you would also have like diplomacy with the various alien races that you would run into, and you had conversation trees would pop up. So depending on how you reacted, it would either result in just friendliness and everybody go their separate ways, or it would turn into a battle. um I can't, like I said, for 30 plus years ago, that's just crazy, the detail, especially on a console. So
Yeah,
I did love
a
that.
lot of elements that we would see in future EA games. Well, I mean, EA published Mass Effect, but you know what I mean? Like just going down to the surface of planets and scouting and stuff like that. Very cool. That's awesome. Crow says he's not wrong about Carmen Sandiego. You used to need to look things up in an almanac. Yeah. Won't be so bad now with the old goggle, but still.
That sounds fun. That's what I want to do when I'm playing a video game. Crack open your almanac.
I'm sure there's a lot of like geographical trivia and stuff like that too. Like,
Yeah.
That's not for me, man. Toe Jam and Earl. Who remembers the rap duo Toe Jam and Earl? I do.
I love this one. It's another one I liked a lot.
There you go. 6. Now, this was made by Sega for the Genesis. Toe Jam and Earl is more of a testament to what the Genesis can do than a real game. The basis for the action, the duo needs to locate all the pieces of their ship, is really a window in which Sega throws some of the best graphics, sounds, and music you'll ever see. Still? Where's Thin Fast? Look at all these nice comments and then like a slam at the end.
But that was a backhanded compliment at the beginning. It says more of a testament to what the Genesis can do than a real game. So it's not a real game?
I think what Steve's saying is it's more of like a tech demo for great graphics, great sound, but there's not much to it.
I don't know what was there. I thought I don't know. It was a lot of fun, but it was one of the probably few games back then that I actually beat. So that them saying it's easy, it probably was. But if you're waiting for a hilarious game for the Sega Genesis, this is it. The graphics are goofy, the tunes are undisputably the funkiest anywhere, and the humor is out of this world. I recommend it for anyone who likes a good laugh. Yo, Earl, who's Trixie? No hedgehogs around here. That's an 8.
I would rather play Toe Jam and Earl than Sonic the Hedgehog. I'm just saying.
Yeah, all day.
El Viento by Renovation. Dude, Renovation, again, the guys that did Guy Rez, they love these words that nobody can pronounce. Or that they're open for interpretation on the pronunciation of them. But yeah, I don't know. El Viento.
It sounds Spanish. I don't know.
And that's probably just my ignorance, but that's how I'm pronouncing it anyway. It gets an 8. El Viento has got one of the greatest combinations of hot, soft graphics and play action I've ever seen in some time. While the theme is straight side-scrolling, the action is presented with smooth animations, plenty of risk incentives, and more than enough challenge. A wiener in my book.
Oh
all right, and a solid 8. I like that.
Yeah, this one across the board. El Viento is a great addition for anyone who likes Valis 3. The basic action is similar to that mega hit with intense magic options and well-produced graphics and sounds. A killer cart from start to finish that impressed me from beginning to end. Thumbs up, 8.
Nice. Another renovation game, man. They're crushing it. Renovation, I think, was they had that game player with the mullet. I can't remember his name. That awesome looking dude. We'll probably see an ad for a renovation game, but that guy, I forget his name. I think it was Biff. No, I don't know what it was. Anybody remember the
What's
pro
that?
gamer? You know the renovation ads for Guy Rez? It had the pro gamer, kind of like the one we saw with Thor. It was showcasing
Yeah.
a pro gamer. That guy had like the sweet mullet and that like sweet peach fuzz mustache.
Oh man, that guy's my hero.
He's all. Hopefully, we'll see him in this. So 6. This looks like a shooter straight from the arcade. We get Vapor Trail. Not the best game before, and not the best now, but a shooter. But for a shooter, this title does give a decent thrill. The action is heavy through most of the conflict, but the whole package just doesn't last long enough to earn it a higher review from Steven. Yay.
From start to finish, Vapor Trail is an average shooter. The game's 1 plus a 2-player simultaneous option is welcome, but only easier succeeds. But it only really succeeds in making the car easier. The game suffers from slowdown, flicker, and weaponry that has been seen many times before. 5. So middle of the road. Yeah, the difficulty is hard.
Yeah. Don't even recall Vapor Trail. Bugs
No.
Bunny.
You just don't get to.
Something about Bugs Bunny. Get out of here, Bugs Bunny.
State of the cartoons.
Stay with the cartoons, kid. Raj, hot take for you, Jay. If the TurboGrafx had better marketing, it would have survived and blown the SNES and Genesis out of the water. Do you mean that, my friend? You know that's not true. Come on. I think it would have done well, but to beat Nintendo and Sega, you had to be on top of your game.
I was gonna say, it needed more third-party support, don't you think?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
not many companies were willing to make 2 versions of the same game. Again, if you wanted to be on Nintendo, you couldn't have the same game as they were going to put on the Genesis. So a lot of companies like Konami, that's why there's different Castlevanias on Genesis and Super Nintendo. But I don't know, man. I think they would have done much better for sure. Are you boohooing? But yeah, I don't like Bugs Bunny and Mickey Mouse and all that stuff.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Again with the hot takes.
Yeah. Jay hates Disney, old school Disney and like Warner Brothers stuff. I don't know. It's all right, I guess, but I don't know.
You hate anthropomorphic animals, right? So but you like TMNT. So
I like Turtles. I like and Hanna-Barbera annoyance. Hanna-Barbera annoyed me too. Who did they have? Like Bowie or Louie? What was the
everyone? Hanna-Barbera. They had Scooby-Doo. What are you talking about? This is crazy.
Jay just burnt eyelids on that hot take. Wanders from Yeez or Wise. By NEC for the TurboGrafx CD 7. Well, there's no denying the fact that CD games with long cutscenes, music, and sound are attractive. They need to be supported with a good gameplay. By good gameplay. Wise 3 is way too linear with little quest left in the adventure. The action, oh God, this is a rough one. The action has been honed a bit, but it's still way too easy. Oh, 3.
Does it? I mean, this is one of, I think you've brought it up before, but doesn't the review seem to not reflect the score? Like,
yeah,
shouldn't
a lot of times
the score should be lower, right? Based on what he's saying. But Sushi, though, he loved it. Finally, a title it's another typo. Finally, a title that's better than its predecessors. Jesus. The gameplay is much more challenging this time in the land of Yeez. Now you swing your sword. About time. I don't know how to pronounce it. I hate Hittolide. I've always seen this game. Hittolide. Attack methods to the max. The quest is pretty cool, but the music will blow you away. 8.
Yeah, I think it's Hyde
Is it
Will can
hybrid?
pronounce it. I think it's Hide Lied.
Okay.
Hide Lied, yeah. Oh my god, I did not. That wasn't me. You can't prove nothing. Oh, come on. Come on. Bugs Bunny, give me a break. You liked Roadrunner and Coyote and all that nonsense, did you?
Oh my.
Jeez, come on. Come on, Packers. Come on
When
now.
did you just grow up and you were just immediately watching like intense like character dramas and stuff as like a child? Turn off the
Yeah,
cartoons, mom. Give me China Beach. You know, like what
I
are you talking
liked
about?
I liked Bugs Bunny when I was a kid. I sure did. But I remember like my friends trying to get me to play like Bugs Bunny's Birthday Bash on Nintendo, and I'm like, I don't want to play this. And everyone was like, "Oh, you got it. You gotta like it. It's so good. It's so good." I'm like, it's not. It's not.
You stick to
My
your
fave log. Thank you for the sub. Appreciate that. Blaze of Steel was so much fun. Yeah, buddy.
yeah, it was.
Absolutely. Okay, we're on Valus 3 again by NEC. Most games were made by NEC or Hudson Soft, Raj. That's another problem Turbo had, unfortunately. They had like those two companies worked. Valus 3 is a really good example of taking the benefits of the CD-ROM technology and pairing it with a very hot game. The quest, adventure, action, graphics, sound, music, and overall gameplay are killer from beginning to end. Give us more of this, NEC, and you can't go wrong.
Don't wait up. This is the best of the Valus trilogy yet, with number 4 coming soon. Valus 3 is a must for those who are looking to keep up with the series. Anyway, if you want to follow along with the story, pick up this game and grab some headphones. The tunes are superb. 8.
Yeah,
It
buddy.
doesn't really tell you anything at all about the game, but all right.
No, and I mean, I know graphics was a thing back then, but a lot of these reviews share the same thing with it. Like the graphics are good or the graphics are bad, but they don't really tell you. Yeah, there's never anything to do with story, or I mean, they only have like 2 sentences, right? But I always said that EGM, out of changing everything in their magazine, the reviews should have got bigger.
Yeah,
Big time. Since like I think it's my favorite part of the magazine.
that would
I
be
think
helpful.
should have, yeah. Pook Ninja says when the TurboGrafx 16 came out, it was a joke console to us back then. Keith Courage pack in only one controller port, and our town was only had one store that carried it. Well, Montgomery Wards, yeah, that was part of their marketing strat that they used in Japan, where they marketed it at the four corners of Japan. And it worked good there with the PC Engine, but they used the same marketing strategy in the United States, which when the landmass is 10 times bigger than Japan, it doesn't work so well. Yeah, so not all the retailers had it, which was a huge mistake. Huge mistake. Blades of Steel on the Game Boy. Did you have a Game Boy, JT?
Yes, yeah. I have the bad eyesight to attest to it. So I'm like you though. I don't actually like the experience of playing on a handheld, you know. It just felt like a good idea if we were like going on trips and stuff, but it ate batteries like no other. So it wasn't very practical. I had the little adapter, so I was gonna. So then I'm back to playing it at home, which is like if I'm gonna do that, I might as well just play my console. That's better. So, but I like it. Gargoyle's Quest was a particular highlight, Capcom game.
Yeah, and they had different versions of Castlevania, Contra, stuff like that on the Game Boy. And I always knew, I think you're the first person I've ever met besides myself that was not a fan of portables. And I'm still not, even if it's like an iPhone game. I don't enjoy it.
Yeah.
But now that we have stuff like the Switch Online, where you can play a lot of these on the big screen, you had the Super Game Boy and stuff like that back then. I definitely appreciate it, but I never liked it. I remember playing the Game Boy, dude, and I was like, I should like this more than I do, but I don't. It's just
No, it's not a great experience.
damn, my brain now. I have to create an Aunt Connie graphic. Well, yeah, you don't have to take that picture I took in Grand Theft Auto. That's what she looks like. She even has the worn the worn rug burn knees. I don't know. Maybe she's a back catcher or something. I have no idea.
Wow.
7. So Blaze of Steel by Konami. Good gameplay is a constant in this game, but there are a few flaws. While the blurring that complicates some Game Boy titles with quick movements is evident, it's not as pronounced as it might be. I like the double dribble style of the double dribble style in additions to blades. It's worth a look. What the hell does that mean?
What additions?
I don't know. I guess they added to it. Real quick, Mutron in the Discord. If you go up, I think it's in the gaming tab, you'll find a portrait of Aunt Connie that hangs in my penthouse wall in Grand Theft Auto Online. So use that.
They reference the changes, or they call them additions, up in the description of the game.
Description that we never read.
Okay, that's why. Okay.
It's still pretty cool.
Like, yeah. Sushi X is the turd in the punch bowl, though. Look at that. I don't think I'll ever really like a Game Boy game.
Whoa.
Personally, I know. I wish Nintendo would make the Game Boy extinct and go for an 8-bit NES portable. The graphics aren't that hot, and the music is irritating. It's far too difficult to follow the action on the Game Boy screen. He's not wrong. 4.
Wow, Sushi not being endorsed by Nintendo whatsoever.
Nope. He don't give a lips.
He doesn't give a lips. K-Max says double dribble was sick fun too. Remember shooting for threes in the top right corner. Oh, was that the trick? That reminds me of the trick in NHL. We'd always do the one-timers, the top right glove hand. It was almost a goal every time in 95. Battletoads. Oh, geez. Can you imagine playing Battletoads or Tecmo Bowl? Well, it got 8s.
That's crazy.
What is this about? Battletoads by Taito. So Taito must have published it because Rare made this game. Interesting. Well, Taito was a big publisher back then.
For sure.
Okay, so 8. I loved the Battletoads on the NES, and I think they hold up just as well on the Game Boy. It's one of the few action games that really has the power to pull you back for more. Game Boy Battletoads shares a lot in common with the 8-bit cousin and throws some new features in for good measure. All right.
The Adventures of the Battletoads continues on the Game Boy. Too bad the Game Boy is so limiting, or this would have been a great title. The graphics and music are ruined on this inferior system. Look toward the Super NES, Battletoads. The Game Boy just doesn't do you justice. And look, yet he gave it a 7 again. That was like a 5 tops, that review. But whatever.
Okay, chat. So we got to come up with a nickname for Sushi X. I was thinking like the portable hater. Maybe. I don't know. That's rough though. I like how he tells it like it is though, and I'm glad I'm not the only one. And JT's not the only one where we didn't like portable games. Tecmo Bowl, our beloved Tecmo Bowl by Tecmo for the Game Boy. 8. Look at Sushi's again. Oh my god. Handheld hater. Oh, that's nice. I like that one. So Steve gave it an 8. Tecmo Bowl, another great game on the NES, has been translated nearly perfectly on the Game Boy. From the ability to use your NES codes to a great look and play mechanic, Tecmo Bowl is one of the best sports games I've ever played for the handheld Nintendo system. File it under hit. Woo!
Tecmo Bowl never impressed me on the NES, and with the low tech afforded by the GB, the title appears even worse. Tecmo Bowl was just slightly above average as an NES title, but on the Game Boy, Tecmo Bowl falls way short of scoring the same big points.
Wow.
So that review was the same as the Battletoads, and he gave it a 4, but whatever.
I wonder if anyone who's reading along with our Retro Mags PDF file, has anybody read Ed's? I haven't really been keeping up with Ed, but Ed's getting the week off, I guess. Hey, Dale, how you doing, buddy?
He's the second one on here.
I was gonna say Ed's usually the hater, but Sushi X is just dying.
Yeah, he's bringing the hate. Yeah, the hate flows through him. Yeah.
Ninja Gaiden by Sega for the Game Gear. Wow, never played this one.
Uh-uh.
Plugged in X. Weird. I thought Tecmo Bowl was a German dance act. Possibly. You might be right.
Why not both?
6. This game has an awkward look and style that reminds me more of Strider than Ninja Gaiden. That point aside, Ninja Gaiden for the Game Gear is a nice addition to the portable's growing list of action cards, but it still comes up short on gameplay and in some cases, graphics. 6. Whew.
Ninja Gaiden is a good title for the Game Gear. It pulls off some awesome tricks for a newcomer to the portable scene. The graphics are good and the music is well done. The original is still the best, but when you need ninja fun on the go, this is a good title to turn to. 7. So there you go. He doesn't hate all handhelds.
Dale, no, that's our buddy and channel member JT. Yeah,
It's me, JT.
That's not P90. What's up? It's time to wake up. Tonight, we dine on turtle soup. I can't do Uncle Phil's voice. Tonight, yeah, I can't forget it. Let's forget about it over here.
I loved Uncle Phil.
Hell of a guy. Oh, here we go. Addams Family. Okay. You're a big fan of the Turbo. Did you ever play Addams Family on the Turbo CD? No?
No. I mean, they had a version also, right? Going all the way back to NES. I don't think I've ever played any of them. So
hot take.
Pinball game. The pinball game's the best one. Addams Family.
Hot take for everyone out there again. Addams Family sucks. I'm just saying. I don't like the Addams Family. I don't give a lips about the Addams Family. I don't care about the 1992 Addams Family. And I sure as lips don't care about the TurboGrafx Addams Family.
Easy. You got so much hatred for me today.
I really hope I'm not getting sick, but I'm starting to feel a little weird here.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because the coffee's running out. It might be that.
Oh, okay. Well.
Tempura handheld toaster. Well, that's a mouthful, buddy. That's a mouthful. So this month's releases, anything tickle your fancy here, JT?
Wow, they're still doing, let's see, Nintendo, I think, no, nothing there. I never played Super Spy Hunter. I liked the first one a lot. Super NES, obviously, I mean, come on, Super Ghouls and Ghosts, right?
Final Fantasy 2, ActRaiser, just bam, bam, bam. Bill Lambier. Who remembers Bill Lambier? I believe he was a defenseman for the Pistons.
All right, he wore the the face mask thing.
Yeah, that's what was that, like a nose guard or whatever it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
But we talked about this, I think, last issue, and he had like this Bill Lambier Combat Basketball was like a futuristic basketball top-down view, and it was horrible. Horrible.
Top-down basketball. That is crazy.
Dude, how would you even how do you shoot? How do you even like
you have no depth. No depth.
You got no depth. Thank you. No depth. No depth. Look at Mutron with the $9.99 super chat. Let's go, buddy. I don't have all my sound effects on StreamYards, so I just got to clap like this. Thank you so much for the support, my friend. Eat my lunch, super chat meter. Eat my lunch indeed. And again, if you guys are channel members and you've been with me for a long time, when you get to that 24-month mark, you're going to see the greatest gaming legend in history as drawn by our buddy Mutron here. Randy's mom. Randy's mom.
Got it going on.
Matt says, hot take on all that. The only thing the Addams Family has going for it is Morticia Addams. And that's if you're into goth mummies. Oh, you should have did mummies like MUMMY. Sorry, correcting your joke. Yeah, I don't like it. I didn't like it, Cousin It or either. What was the stupid hand?
Thing.
Was it it? Silly little hand.
Thing.
Oh, it was Thing. Who's Cousin It then?
He's just got hair and he's like a midget or a little person. He's just covered head to toe in hair. You can't see it.
The long hair. That's right.
And he's like speaks gibberish.
That's right. It's time to wake up, says Spy Hunter on PS2 is Elite. Very difficult. We talk about that one a lot. It's time because that was the one with The Rock on the cover. Willie and I thought that they did a movie of it, but they didn't. Adam's Family in North America is a North American institution. I just don't like it. I didn't like Munsters either. JT's gonna crucify me when I say this, but I'm gonna go further and say all that old school, like
Oh my
Universal Monsters and all that stuff.
All right.
That's
That's
nothing.
enough.
Yeah, so he's got to go. He's out of here. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, JT, thanks for coming, buddy. Just being honest with you guys. Come on.
Too many hot takes. Too many though, Jay.
Too many
There's
hot takes.
honesty, and then there's this. This is punishing.
I'm sorry. All right. I'm sorry. Okay. Let me see. So yeah, coming out, Super Ghouls and Ghosts. I see. I would take that. Final Fantasy 2, ActRaiser 3, perfect games on Super Nintendo. Let's see. JT, you got to pick one. You got to pick one NES game here. Chat as well. Come on, you got to pick one NES game out of this list.
Well, that's not too. I mean, I would probably do Bard's Tale. Just I'm Dungeons and Dragons guy. So
okay, I'll take Return of the Joker. Super Nintendo, Ghouls and Ghosts for sure.
Yeah, agree.
Game Boy. Skipping Game Boy.
They do have a Final Fantasy Adventure though. If you had to pick one, I guess.
True.
They have two. Wow, Final Fantasy Adventure and Final Fantasy Legend. Did you know about those two?
I think it's like Zelda Ages and Seasons, where I think or like maybe a Pokemon where it's the same game. There's just a few things missing. Does anybody know? Can anybody
That's why it's
about Final Fantasy? Yeah.
They classified as an adventure instead of an RPG.
Yeah, adventure versus legend.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at our poor Turbo. Well, we got Kadash. There you go. That's a big one.
Oh, yeah.
Turrican, Raiden, and Adam's Family. Link's got Bill and Ted's, Tournament Cyberball, Stunrunner.
Sad.
Yeah, and then Genesis has got Buck Rogers, which is a cardboard box EA game. Quackshot, and I don't like Donald Duck, but that's a great game.
Yeah.
Fantastic game, actually. Yeah, the Game Boy stuff. Oh, boy. Look at this homework. Look at this homework assignment. Quarterman, you're killing me. You're killing me. All right. Everyone buckle up. This is the wildest ride in the magazine. Quarterman is our guy on the street who is getting us all the latest and greatest news. JT, would you like to start or would you like me to start? I'll let you choose.
I'll go get it out of the way. I just do the first one, right?
Yeah, let's just go in order here.
Okay. Drop your lasers and fire your smart bombs. Quarterman has returned with a bag full of the hottest little secrets in the video game biz. The industry's been buzzing with insider info this month, and the Q Magnum has got it all. It's the only gossip column that doesn't use slow-mo. Whoa, Nintendo, did you commit a faux pas, and how? The new Super NES, which yours truly reported last week was compatible with the Super Famicom, has one slight problem running around inside its computer brain. It won't work on certain televisions made before 1985. I've never heard that. While this problem is rumored to be corrected when the second batch of Super NES machines appear, several television broadcasts have already leveled their own firepower at the big end because of the incident. And with Sega absolutely destroying Nintendo with their hyper cool comparison ads, you've got to wonder if Nintendo remembered to check the flight list before taking off. Games. On the red phone to head editor Some Radius in Japan, the Q-Meister has learned that several high-profile titles are now on their way to the States. Leading the pack are the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles coming to the NES for their third adventure. With a new style of play that combines the role changing of the first with the action and graphics of the second, this cart sounds most sharp indeed. Also on the playlist are Street Fighter 2 for the Super NES, Mega Man 4 for the 8-bit, and a flood of reflective donuts, or I mean CD games for the new Sega Mega CD driver. Check out a full report on the show with special commentary by our man in Japan, Teriyaki. Oh man, that's awful. I just said that out loud. That's awful. Teriyaki.
See, I read that as Terry Akai. I get it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a stupid pun. Oh my god.
It is. It is. Good job, dude. You killed that. Even the part when you did the donuts, or I mean CD, I thought you actually screwed up there. Amazing. JT, I don't know, guys. Well, let's just throw it out there, okay? So we have a little competition going with Mr. Mouth here on the stream, and he says that the Canadian school system is not as good as the U.S. school system. So, oh God, do I put the poll up, JT? I'm scared of the results. Let's put it up.
You've got the hometown advantage, so you may have it.
Guys, be absolutely honest. And JT, you cannot vote.
Oh,
but we got this competition going on. The poll is up. No, I can't see who votes for what, so it's all anonymous. You guys decide. So far, who reads better? Canada versus US. Speaking of new games, Atari is set to unload a flurry of Lynx games ranging from Pit Fighter to a special handheld version of Tecmo's latest Ninja Bloodbath, Ninja Gaiden 3, The Ancient Ship of Doom. Can't wait to see him, boys. While we're on the subject of Atari, Quarterman has the latest lowdown on the Jaguar Super System. Seems Atari is trying to make the game system, which is rumored to be nearing completion, much more than your everyday walk in the park. Run-of-the-mill 64-bit video game console. Now, let's just think about this for a second. We're in the 16-bit generation as of November 1991, and Atari is boasting a 64-bit console. Now, guys, I remember hearing the whispers of the new Atari console, but I do not remember it being a 64-bit console, them talking about it at least back then. Don't you think they're jumping the ship a little bit? Like, I mean, Atari, and we all know the Jaguar is, I love it, but it's absolute garbage. Like, it's so terrible. And the fact that they're saying it's a 64-bit system is just not true. The Jaguar, in my opinion, struggled to be even a 32-bit system. I'm just saying.
Remember that sweet infomercial you streamed?
Yeah, the lady. Yeah.
Yeah, but they kept hyping that, right? The 64-bit, right?
It was like they were talking to you. It was like, JT, do the math. Just do the math. That's all you got to do. What's better? Super Nintendo or Genesis? Do the math. Let's do the math, buddy. No, Atari is rumored to be making their own Jaguar, a computer too. Now that's a rumor. And what's more, you'll be able to not only play cartridges and possibly CDs, you will even be able to play VHS tapes.
Oh, wow.
Yes. With two 32-bit processors and a revolutionary graphics chip, the Jaguar has the potential, but it's not going to succeed without focus. Quarterman gives a big thumbs up down to the idea of a video game system that plays computer games on a computer system that doesn't have to power to do with my taxes. What? Oh God. God. And the polls, JT's winning by 83%. Oh my God. And Atari VP who leaked the Jaguar news to the Q-Man said that the company may have to keep the future of the Jaguar quiet until Atari can clearly see the direction the biz is buzzing and that no official press conference would be occurring soon. All right. Better keep the PC on the QT or it may leak to NEC that the VP would go MIA when it arrives DOA.
Oh my God. Get ready to play the best Super NES softs before they're released in the arcade. Mocking the success that the companies had in their 8-bit coin-op model called the Play Choice 10, Nintendo is getting ready to flood arcades with upright 16-bitters that play hits like Super Ghouls and Ghosts and UN Squadron. It's a cool concept, but the controllers are just too hard to play with. It feels like someone stole my controllers and superglued them to the floor. Did you know that in Europe, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles are called the Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles? Why? Do they have a problem with ninjas? Let me guess. You can plunk down 40 quid for Hero Gaiden? No way. Sorry, Doc. But someone should sue you for malpractice. Did you cheat your way through the medical school or what?
What?
He has to sit there this whole time when he's typing, and he's got the collar popped, right? And he's got some really sweet sunglasses on. That's how I imagine.
Yeah, there's a little bit, and I don't even know. Hey, let's throw this out to the chat. I was just gonna say I don't even know what Quarterman looks like, JT. Does somebody want to Google EGM Quarterman and maybe throw it in the Discord for us channel members to see? Maybe if you can. I would like to know what he looks like. I'm picturing he looks like the cool dude, but like with the Hunter Thompson cigarette holder kind of thing, and maybe doing this a little bit back and forth. Maybe going back like this. Trying to do that, and because it just seems like whatever he thinks, he just types. But get ready for some rockin' sequels coming to the NES in 1992. From the Turtles to Mega Man to Gaiden to Tetris, the games seem to be getting slightly fewer and far between for the 8-bit workhorse, but they're definitely improving on style. And no, it's not Face Tris, Word Tris, Well Tris, or even Mistress coming to the Nintendo. It's a whole new Tetris game called Tetris 2 Bombless. Looks hot, but my screen says game over, only because I beat the game, of course. It's time for me to fly. Until next time, don't lose your grip on your joystick.
Yikes.
And try not to lose your EPROMs. What's that? What's an EPROM? What is that? I don't know. Quarterman signing out. There you go. There you go. The Dolts lack the integrity versus the Giants straight up respect to have integrity is why I switched. Metron says, I wonder which Quarterman is, just legs, head, or shoulders. Oh my God. Oh, whew. Behind the screens, it's Mike. Who the hell is Micronet? Has anybody heard of Micronet? Does anybody find out who Quarterman looks like? Did anybody find that out?
It could be a future emoji.
Jay, you're hilarious. Now we all love the Jaguar, but it's complete trash. It is. It's like, what's the good game on the Jaguar? GT, do you play Jaguar?
No, I never had one, but I always wanted it just to play the what is it, Aliens vs Predator or whatever it was.
Yeah, I'm gonna look up EGM Quarterman. Yeah, it was Alien vs Predator was the system seller.
And
is that him?
You just never would see
one. That's supposed to be Sushi X. But if anyone can find Quarterman, I won't stay on my phone too long. Just throw it in the Discord so we can check it out. Behind the screens, a micro. I keep wanting to say micro nut. I don't know why.
Your mind's in the gutter. That's why.
We're moving on. This is ballistic.
Whoa. Hey, there's Star Control.
Nice. I mentioned the Angry Video Game Nerd with the Jaguar CD with my CD attachment. Oh, yeah, I got that sweet bad boy. There's a lot of good games for the Jaguar, but at $400 to $500, I don't recommend buying one. Well, if you get the Atari 50th Anniversary Collection, you can get, which I think we streamed that the first year. Yeah, there's a Jaguar section on that. So you can actually check it out there. So where's Star Control? Which one? Which one am I?
Oh, it was. I may have.
Oh, right there. Yeah. Right here. The ad. Yeah, for sure. Okay, we're just skipping over a little bit. We're headed on the 2-hour mark here, so we're gonna go a little bit quicker. Over 25 million lives will be saved. Were you a Game Genie guy, JT?
No, I never had one. Actually, yeah.
Sanjita, thank you for the sub. Hope I pronounced that right. I'm terrible at pronouncing names. The hot softs can cause micronut when you guys always trick me into saying those nasty things.
Oh,
Yeah, what is this? They're still on
I know.
micronuts?
Why is that tacked on the end there?
What is?
Well, the whole thing is about the Mega CD-ROM for Sega, and at the end, it's like, oh yeah, Atari begins work on Jaguar. It's like, what?
Oh yeah.
Weird.
They just kind of
Why is
stuck
that?
that in.
Yeah, it's just one little strip there.
Matt, if you can put that in the Discord. Ed Simrad too, if you can look him up if you're not busy. Sorry to get you to do all that. I'm going to try my best to contact Steve Harris and Ed Simrad. I'm gonna make it my goal. I'm gonna do everything I can to get them on this stream. I'm friends with Show. If you guys remember Show, he was more like I think late 90s. I should say he's my friend on Facebook. We're not friends, but I have him on Facebook. So I'm gonna reach out to Show as well to see if we can get him on the show, the live stream. Okay, Decap Attack. You remember this one? Remember this mascot?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, this was a cool game. He ripped off his own head and threw it at people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Pook Ninja says, I only used Game Genie on Genesis to play Japanese Mega Drive games. Oh, I never knew you could do that.
Oh, interesting.
That's cool.
Yeah.
International Outlook Shining Force. Oh my god, it's an incredible game.
Yeah, that was a good one.
So good. Dale says the 50th anniversary Atari is available on the Xbox. Yeah, and there's some great interviews on that. Yeah. Well, there's a old school Wolvie.
Jim Lee.
Is that Jim Lee? Nice.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh man, there's something about that.
There's a cover. I think it's Wolverine number 27. I want to say that's what that's from.
Okay. And just because I know you're a comic guy, that the Wolverine, you remember the Wolverine mini series?
Mm-hmm.
The
original one?
Issues? Was that Frank Miller?
It is. Yeah, he drew it and Chris Claremont wrote it. Yeah.
Those I love, like that first cover when he's just like that.
Yeah.
So good, man.
Yeah. Very iconic. Yeah.
Rent a Hero. That never came out here to my knowledge. Natopia 2, that did come out for the Turbo. Absolutely. It's one of the most expensive Turbo games out there.
Yeah.
Hey Jay, you should make oh no. Nope. That's Spy. I'm not even saying that guy's name, man. Yeah, not on this channel, man. I'm pretty sure you're kidding around, but Ed Simrad Matt. Ed Simrad's his last name, and then Steve Harris. Just so I know what they look like. I think I looked them up on Facebook and I found them like pictures of them, but I don't think they have accounts.
Boo.
Any of these you want to talk about, just let me know, JT, as we're skimming through.
Yeah,
I know you're joking. I know you're joking, buddy. Don't worry about that. There's also someone else's name I don't mention on stream. It's the King of Kong himself. We never mention him. He doesn't like it when you talk about him.
Yeah.
So I won't mention him. Yeah, Packers, that Wolverine art's amazing. Hyper Attacks. I don't know any of these.
I know. It's like, did none of these come over? These are all Japanese.
Yeah, I don't recognize.
Kicks. Maybe they got renamed.
Love Kicks. Super Famicom Times. Again, I think this is Japanese stuff. Magic Sword by Capcom. Super Else.
Oh man, Magic Sword in the arcade was amazing.
I believe our buddy P90 was streaming that yesterday, or he's playing Magic Sword 2, I think. He said it was one of his favorite childhood games.
Yeah, I mean, it's like Golden Axe, I guess.
Zardion. Super Pinball. Top Racer. Yeah, I'm not familiar with these ones.
Zardion looks interesting, but yeah, never heard of it.
There you go, buddy.
Ah, there we go. I need to print that off and hang it.
Kadash by Working Designs. Yeah, we played this poorly the other day. Matt, you like Zardion?
Well,
Oh, it's a mecha game.
it's like you said, it's not really probably a great game to stream, but it's fun to play.
Yeah. Oh, look at these cinematics for Terminator. It's so lifelike.
I know. It's like you're there.
What's up, Bill? How you doing? I had the Genesis EverDrive. A year later, I haven't even played half of the game. Oh, what is that? That's an emulator? I'm guessing that's what that is. Like you have all the games. Choplifter 2. The only arcade game that I own in my toy room downstairs is Choplifter.
Nice.
I got for $200 just because it was an arcade game. It was just for the novelty of having an arcade game in the house.
For $200, why not?
Yeah, it's not a bad game by Sega.
I like that game.
Oh, Darkwing Duck on the Turbo. Little rough.
Is it?
I love watching the stream on my TV, Jay. It's so easy to read the magazine. Oh, great. You got us on the big screen. You got JT and me. We're big screen stars over here.
Oh.
Roger Clemens. I don't know. I do know that. Here's my Roger Clemens story. As I used to be a big baseball card collector, I went into geography class and I sat down. I was in grade 9 geography, and my desk mate was in grade 12. He was he had an IROC, he had gold chains, and he looked like an adult. He just did. And I brought a stack of baseball cards because I was gonna, show them with my buddies. And I had Roger Clemens rookie card. And this guy, I'm not gonna name his name. Let's just call him Not Nice Guy. Said, "Hey, can I look at your baseball cards?" Cool, man. And I showed him, like I let him hold the baseball cards and got them back. I'm like, "Thanks, dude." Went home, and as I was walking home from school, I noticed that Roger Clemens' rookie card was no longer in the stack of baseball cards. So if you're watching, older geography guy, you're a son of a lips for stealing my Roger Clemens. Why can't I say that name anymore, JT? Clemens.
That's right. Yeah.
You stole my Roger Clemens baseball rookie card.
It's your deep childhood traumas coming through. It's making it hard for you to say the word.
You son of a lip.
Understandable. Yeah.
Are you doing okay, buddy? Do you want to step away and grab a drink? Go to the bathroom? How you doing?
No, I'm fine. Are you needing to go get coffee or something?
No, I'm doing good.
Okay.
TJC, good evening. What's up,
TJ?
Brother? All right. The Immortal. Chuck Rock. I remember Chuck Rock was terrible.
I like the Immortal, though.
I never played that one. Yeah, I think that's old school cardboard Genesis, too.
I think you're right. Yeah.
Worm. Joe Montana, too.
Ooh, 2 greats on one page. Look at that.
Yeah, this is where they lost me with Montana because it was the typical Madden view. And then they switched to side by side. And I remember I didn't like it as much. But this was Sports Talk, the first Sports Talk football game in the Sega series.
Yeah. You're right, though. The first one was great. The first Joe Montana.
Yeah. Oh, dude.
The New York Giants, like I just remember if you pick the New York Giants and their running back was what's his name?
Was it Lawrence Taylor?
No, not then, not on the game. Obviously they weren't using the names, right? I don't think they didn't have the rights. But my memory was it was I think of his name now. But you just gave him the ball and it was like that's it. Like it was always every play, it was just a running,
he would get it, yeah.
Joe Brown. I think his name is Joe Brown.
Any old school football fans? Packers. LT was number 56, was he not? Can you confirm or deny that? See, this is what I mean about like my memory is so good on weird things like that. But like you say, okay, Jay, where's Australia on the map? I'm like, I don't know, man. I was too busy reading EGMs in geography class, and the guy stole my cards. So I hated geography. Raj says, JT, your background looks amazing. When are you going to give us a tour of your shelves?
Yeah, I'm in a basement. It's like not actually like finished. We just moved here, I don't know, a couple of years ago. So I have a neat little shelf, and that's otherwise it's just boxes. So it's not really all that exciting, honestly. Oh, what is this? This is like pro
Dude.
level.
Oh my God.
That's crazy. Did you know about these?
I'm getting some weird memory coming back. I think I had the
Look.
turtle ones.
So it says up at the top left, as seen on Video Power.
Video game gloves. Well,
It's hot. It's new.
we've got something else to add to the obscure list of peripherals that we've been looking up.
Yeah.
The block of wood Atari 26 controller, the thumb thing, gloves, and what was the Bishu, of course.
These would have to be new in box, though. That'd be gross.
Okay, somebody want to look up these for me on eBay? This is what are they called? Champion gloves.
Oh, Champion makes them. Is that really by Champion? Like the sports?
It says Champion gloves available at Electronics Boutique.
They're still around.
Oh, are they? Okay.
Champion, yeah. Well, they make like sports gear, like so.
Because I was gonna say, dude, these look pretty legit, man.
Yeah,
I like how they're fingerless except the thumb.
Yeah, smart design, right?
This guy's got some big thumbs, dude. Like, look at the thumbs.
Yeah,
like that's yeah. I'd rock a pair of these two. The turbo ones are a must. Those are pretty cool. We got exclusive on Ninja Gaiden for Game Boy, which actually looks different than the NES one. Skipping. Nobody put a Game Boy in their pocket. Come on.
No.
Nobody did that.
I like how you left the screen on too. It's like, yeah, that would be dead in 10 minutes. It's like, that's cool.
Absolutely. And you would get it stolen.
Yeah, if it didn't fall out and just smash. Yeah.
Degenerate card stealing school like I went to. There are no power gloves. That's true. But these you can wear at any time.
Yeah. Yeah, you can wear those to the gym. Yeah.
Die Hard Video Games. Nice import store. Oh, yeah, buddy. TJ's playing Ninja Gaiden tomorrow night. Dude, how far did you get? I think I asked you that. I don't know if you responded. What level did you get to? Jet says the Game Boy fit inside my pocket, my jean jacket. I would have always been afraid of scratching the screen. Definitely. Okay, we're gonna skip past the tricks. Oh, look at this. What is this? This is Competition Pro. Who makes this?
It's not Pichu, so who cares? It's Hap, I think.
Hap. Oh, Hap.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I gotta tell you, man, that looks awful.
Yeah.
Look at all the writing on the controller itself. Ugh.
But it handles like your Aunt Connie, probably.
Nobody wants to look at that.
No.
Oh, 3-3 boss. Nice, dude. Well, looking forward to you continuing your Ninja Gaiden journey. Castlevania 2. Oh, yeah, these are the tricks still. We're going to skip the tricks, guys.
Yeah. There's a lot of them.
There is. But these, listen, I'm not discrediting the work that EGM did. Just it's not the greatest of live stream material, the tricks. But back then, these pages would have been everything, man. You just hoped. You know, for those of you who are watching my TurboGrafx stream last week, that code to get to any level in Splatterhouse was from the pages of EGM. Claude, what's going on? How you doing? From Akron, Ohio. Nice to see you, buddy. Welcome to the stream. Everyone's over on the YouTube side. If you want to pop over and chat with everybody, we'd welcome to have you. I put it out there on Facebook just to kind of advertise YouTube. Come on over if you feel like it. Okay, so this is Turtles, right? This is Is this Turtles in Time?
It's the second arcade game. So
Yeah, Turtles in Time, I guess. Oh yeah, there's Toka and Razor. Yeah, I guess it is. Very cool. Because they talked about Turtles 3 the Manhattan Project for the NES in this one, which is what I thought the cover was, but it's actually this one. But I think this coverage here is actually the arcade game. Shinobi on Master System, dude. You're brave for playing that. That game's hard as hell. What is this? Dragon's Lair 2. You like Dragon's Lair, JT?
I like the theory, whatever the concept better than the execution. Let's say that was a dollar gobbler back in the first one, right? When it was in the arcade.
Was it a buck? Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was $1, and you just didn't. I would die with like instantly. So,
Bill, thanks for saying that, buddy. I appreciate that. I recently played Space Ace in the arcade, and it was at Tilt in town here, and you just pay $7 to get in, and you can play all you want. Otherwise, I wouldn't have touched it, right? Because it'd probably be $1 or something. But yeah, in Space Ace, I was like, I don't even know what happened, and you're like dead. It's like, oh, okay. So, I guess I'm dead. Like, what? What are we doing? I actually have someone I should say at the Portland Retro Gaming Expo in 2015 gave me an original slide from Space Ace. I gotta frame that still. It's downstairs.
Like the animation cell?
Yeah, the animation cell. Yeah, really cool.
Awesome.
Power to save the planet. Captain Lips. Captain Power himself. Captain Planet, sorry.
Are these ads? I don't even know what this is. Like, I think we skipped past them, but like they have a thing for WrestleFest. That game was awesome. American Technos.
Oh yeah. Like these are, and then these are like little inserts.
I think you
so this is like, so these would have been inserts, but you could actually pull them out of EGM, and they would have their own staples too. So it was like an extra bonus magazine. This is all on the Atari Lynx, which I think is cool.
Yeah.
I want that. In the left here, we see Ninja Gaiden. I want that. I want that for the Lynx.
That would be cool. I didn't have one when it came out, but like early days of eBay, I was like, I think I want to get one. So I got it. And it was, of course, super cheap. And then I got like the Dracula game for it because it was, I want to say it was the only way to play that game. And then APB, which I love, but I loved it in the arcade because it was like, it was top down, and you're a cop.
Yeah.
And when you would get you have like a little box, like a reticle thing. And when you would get it over the suspect, you would hit your button and your siren, your lights came on. Right. And then that's cool. They never pull over. They would never pull over. So a chase would ensue. But yeah, so that was like 20 something years ago. I got a Lynx, and it was pretty all right. But again, goes back to the not interested really in the handheld. But
do you remember that the other day we're talking, you brought that up in the chat, and you remember us talking about that brief MMO that came out? Do you remember that APB MMO?
Oh geez, no.
Yeah, it was. I think it was free to play. It didn't last long.
Yeah, that's crazy. What would that even be like? Some people are cops and some people are criminals.
Yeah, I'm guessing it was like a Grand Theft Auto clone.
Huh.
Can you read the first prize of the Captain Planet competition? First prize, 10 first prizes in the Captain Planet competition. The Captain Planet package will include Captain Planet and the Planeteers Nintendo Entertainment System game from Mindscape, a handheld Captain Planet electronic game from Tiger, a Captain Planet action figure and accessories, a year's subscription to EGM, an electronic gaming monthly t-shirt. Okay. This is the best.
Yeah.
I need an EGM t-shirt.
Yeah, for sure.
Look at all these like hot soft accessories. Look at it's the car adapter. I'm like, what is this thing? What is this thing? The top right. What is that? AC adapter, car adapter. But what's that thing on the right?
It's Comlink's cable.
Comlink's cable. I have no
Oh,
idea.
it's for 8 players to play. It's like a link, multi-link thing.
8 players. I only knew one person in my whole school who had a link.
Yeah, they were very optimistic that 8 people would know each other that had a links. Yeah.
Slime World was a system seller, and it was the Lynx was pretty powerful, and it was very impressive at the time because arcade games like Stun Runner and Hard Driving were very impressive. This was our first polygon games, right? Like this was the future of video games. This is what reality was going to look like. And the fact that Atari could even play these on the Lynx, pretty cool when you look at what the Game Boy looked like. But the thing, going back again, the thing with Hard Driving was the game sucked. And it played like Aunt Connie trying to drive a car.
And was the Nomad out by this point?
Not yet. I think 95 Nomad came out.
Geez. So it was a few years. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
You're welcome, Raj. Anytime, buddy. Oh, there's your APB for the Lynx right there.
Yeah. That was great.
We got Bill and Ted's, which looks better than the NES one. California Games. Chips Challenge.
I don't know about that.
I mean, it looks just like a mess of nothing.
Yeah.
Ragar, great game. Road Blasters. Rampage.
Also great.
So why didn't this system do well? Like, these are great arcade hits. Why didn't it do well?
Was it not the same issue where they didn't have enough third-party support?
I don't know the answer as to why. I'm just kind of curious if anybody has any insight. I'm just guessing because video games were really in the infancy stage that parents just had enough money to buy one console. And if you were lucky to get a portable, I would say most probably went with Game Boy just because Nintendo was tried and true, right?
Right. Exactly.
And I think this is the last successful Atari system. And I don't even know if I would really call it that successful. Scrapyard Dog was a big game for this back then.
I don't remember that at all. It's a platformer.
Dale says, I would have liked to have some of the Captain Planet figures. I watched the cartoon when I was growing up. Yeah, that would be sweet. I wasn't as familiar with that because that was like 90s stuff. But
yeah.
Man, these inserts are great. Look at all these great picks. Warbirds. Oh, yes. It's Time says Lynx was pricey and it devoured batteries.
Yeah.
Hey, that it did, my friend. That it did. Prince Valiant. Oh, is he from Captain Planet, TJ?
Xenophobe. That was a great game.
Very
Xenophobe's
good.
Yeah.
Did we pass that one?
Yeah, I guess so. I think you're ahead of me.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that was they had a pretty decent actually port of that on the NES too back in the day.
Yeah, it was all right.
720, great skateboarding game. Yeah, I mean, I just have to think that there's just too many choices now for parents because these games are all great. They're all good on this system. Dirty Larry, that was another system seller, I remember.
I remember liking Vindicators.
Yeah. Yeah, Dirty Larry was good.
It's funny.
You got Link's Casino. There you go. You got Cyberball.
Cyberball was good.
Zybots. Basket Brawl. He wanted to be a knight of the round table. Okay. Real action football. Hockey. Okay, we're going to whiz by Atari here. No disrespect, Atari fans. I'm more interested in all these little peripherals that we got for the Lynx. That cool stuff. I got to find a pair of those gloves.
There's a contest.
Yeah. Look at the first prize is everything. Second prize, you get Clax and Ninja Gaiden. I'll take that. That'd be pretty sweet. We got even its own tips and tricks section in this links
Wow.
for APB. There you go for higher points. Oh, for higher points.
They really packed it in,
dude. So much.
Oh no! Now there's a SNES buyer's guide. Oh my god.
Oh, that's right too. And the Lynx version of Ninja Gaiden was the arcade game. That's right. That's right. Super NES Buyer's Guide. There we got Super Ghouls and Ghosts, one of the greatest systems on. Sorry, one of the greatest games on the system. Raj says, by the way, Jay, when is the next standalone video we'll be getting from you? Is it a game hunting video with you and Will? It is. Yeah. It's supposed to be today, as I try and hit every 2 weeks, but things this week, as you guys know, have been a little crazy around here. So it's not even close to being done. So it'll be by Tuesday at the latest, Raj. I'm going to try and work on it as much as I can. There's a link in the Discord. 20 US for an orange pair. Oh, the gloves? Dude.
It's amazing.
Thanks, Matt. Appreciate it, buddy. What is this? What is this?
Yeah, we don't need to read that, right?
I feel like JT, you tell me what you feel about this. I'm starting to feel like because EGM is getting so big that we need to do one of two things. We need to have an intermission. So I think we need to have a break, or we need to split the part. So we need to have issue 28 have 2 parts. We're not going to do it now.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. The way they're talking, it's only going to get bigger, right? So do you want a 4-hour stream or, yeah.
And I don't want to skip like good stuff, right? But I feel like we all need we need coffees for sure. Like we need something. But so maybe for next issue we're going to have an intermission, I would say.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Jay's next video is a haunting retrospective about a boy who had a baseball card stolen. Oof. Yeah. Buddy, that was rough, dude. And dude, listen. And I had to answer to my mom because I didn't, I wasn't going to lie to her. That much guilt you can't carry around as a kid. So I had to tell her, like, it's gone. And I remember she said, don't bring those cards to school. Because in grade 1 in Canada, we had a department store called Simpsons, which was like JCPenney, like you guys would have. And they had Darth Vader in person there. It was just a guy in a suit. And I remember I got his autograph on a Polaroid and I took it to school and some mother effer stole it. Jeez. So my mom was like, don't take those cards to school, but I did. And look what happened. Two thefts.
You're not really doing the Canadian school system any favors telling these stories, Jay.
I'm sorry. But if we look at the poll, my friend, 54% for Bartlett and JT has 46%.
Oh, well.
He's a much better reader than me. I can admit defeat. That's fine. Okay, the Super Nintendo is here, and see, look, we're skipping this. And I don't want to skip it, man. I don't want to skip it, but I feel like, oh my God. What is this? Trickery.
More reviews. Oh, look, it's Quarterman. Was he in the last one?
What is that? Quarterman is reviewing. No, never.
Wow. It's a game changer.
Ed and Steve. Oh my God, dude. How are you feeling, buddy? How are you feeling?
I mean, do you want to take a break and then tackle this?
If you got time, I have time. This is what I do, but I know that it's your Sunday. Yeah. So you tell me, but I'm not going to skip. So whatever you decide, we can stop here or we can take a small break and keep going, but I'm not skipping over the launch titles for Super Nintendo.
Sure.
I'm not.
No. Okay. Why don't we just do like a 5-minute or something?
Okay. Everyone in the chat, if you're cool, JT and I are going to step away and grab a drink. for 5 minutes, okay? And then we're going to come back and we're going to continue with this issue. I don't know how long it is, but we'll continue with that, okay? Okay, guys? So just hang with us. We'll be right back. All right, we're back. Oh man, that's good. That's good. Did you get a drink?
Yeah, I got me some tea, so I'm good to go.
Yeah, buddy. All right. Well, this is a nice surprise. Thanks everyone for sticking around. Okay, so we can't skip this. I mean, I feel like the last 2 years of EGMs we've been reading is all led up to this. They've always talked about the Super Nintendo launching. So here we go. Whew. All right. The long-awaited Super NES is finally available in the U.S. to the U.S. gaming public. The first few pieces of the fantastic unit hit the store shelves on August 23rd, 1991. Who in the chat had a Super Nintendo on day one? JT, did you?
No, like I said, it wasn't until Street Fighter came out.
Right. I don't think I did on launch day. Afterwards, though, for sure. Nintendo, however, released the first production run without any heavy fanfare or spectacular announcements. The original system, known as the Super Famicom in Japan, was uncovered by EGM over 2 years ago in an article that detailed the marvelous features of the machine. Ever since the knowledge of the system was exposed, an unparalleled anticipation has been building, even though Nintendo denied the very existence of the 16-bit system in development. And we remember that when remember Nintendo was saying, "Oh, we're just fine with the 8-bit system. We don't need to go into 16-bit. We're doing just fine on our own." But we saw into the future, didn't we, JT? We sure did.
Absolutely.
Woo! Now the 8-bit market is on its last legs due to a petition from the super successful Sega Genesis and the TurboGrafx 16. Nintendo has unleashed their weapon. With the real 16-bit battles begin this Christmas as gamers and parents are faced with a choice. High-powered video game systems. The Super Nintendo is the only home video game system capable of performing... It's cut off for me. That bottom part's cut off for me. I can't see it because I have a Stream Yards thing covering it.
It's true scaling. This is the performing true scaling and rotation. Yeah.
Okay. With titles such as Nintendo's F-Zero and Pilot Wings are perfect examples of these advanced effects. The Super NES also has the largest palette of colors available on any 16-bit system. Compare a whopping 32,000 colors to Genesis and TurboGrafx palette of only 512. What?
Wow.
Really? I mean, I knew Super Nintendo always looked better in terms of the colors, but that much of a difference?
That's a huge difference. Yeah.
Unfortunately, the Super NES also has the largest price tag among the competing 16-bit systems. Coming in at just under $200, the machine also has a very bad problem with flickering and slowdown when a large number of characters appear on the screen. Regardless, the next Nintendo is here. Woohoo! All right, my good friend, we are here. We got a second review crew. This is great. I really loved how they took the time to celebrate the launch of the Super Nintendo. And I guess guest reviewing, we have Quarterman, we have Martin, we have Ed, and we have Steve. I will get you to choose, my friend, out of the three who you'd like to read.
Well, I mean, it's not often you see Quarterman in here, so I think I got to do Quarterman.
We are getting the same problem with you again, the same weird speed up thingy.
Okay.
I don't know what that is. Do you want to do a reboot again? That seemed to have worked last time.
Okay. Yeah, I'll do it.
Okay, so while JT is rebooting, I will go ahead and read our buddy Steve. Man, I think that's so cool that Quarterman is here doing reviews. What a treat. And I must confess, my friends, I don't remember Quarterman doing any reviews. So our first game with the launch stuff is The Legend of the Mystical Ninja, which is by Konami. I know it's a favorite of Will's. This is one of his games that he's currently looking for. Steve gave it an 8. The Legend of the Mystical Ninja is an overwhelming game with fast action and dozens of special play features. While the game is a gem in the one-player mode, I gotta move that over. The whole pace of play reality picks up when a friend joins in. Despite the odd graphics, a great game. I wouldn't say they're odd. It's just anime. Maybe our Western culture wasn't used to that kind of design. I certainly think it's damn cool, especially the box art for Legends of the Mystical Ninja. It's just absolutely incredible. Is he coming back anytime soon? Okay. Well, I'll read a second one then. I'll do Quarterman because I feel like it's an honor to have him in our review crew. Quarterman also gives it an 8. Did any of you guys have this game, by the way, when it came out? What a game. Talk about overkill. Mystical Ninja has it all. From cameo appearances of your all-time favorite Konami hits to some solid 1 and 2 player options, this game has it all. You already said that. The graphics are too cheesy for me with lots of pastels, but besides that, it's killer. What? Well, you still gave it an 8? I mean, that's crazy. Welcome back.
Hey.
Perfecto. There you go.
All right. Good.
So I just read Steve's and Quarterman's, and despite Quarterman calling it cheesy, he still gave it an 8. So there you go.
Guess he likes cheese.
There you go. So if you'd like to read, you can pick Ed or Martin if you want to read Legend of the Mystical Ninja.
All right. What's okay?
Yeah, you're near the end there.
Let's do Ed.
Ed the hater.
Exactly. Finally, a unique game that has all sorts of neat and amazing tricks that will dazzle your mind, hilariously cute and comical creatures, and play that is really impressive. Even the short games that you can play, from Pong to the actual Gradius, are a great addition. Kudos for Konami.
Nice. 9. Overall, that game got really great scores. I too kind of see what they're saying. I didn't really understand what the game was about. But yeah, obviously it's very anime.
So did you play it back then?
I had it. I remember as a kid I didn't like it. But I appreciate it more now. Did you play this one?
No, it's one of those ones I've seen the box art like a bunch of times, but no, I never picked it up.
UN Squadron, this one is a definite classic by Capcom. And I almost read Q-Man. So Steve gives it an 8. I totally enjoyed the horizontal shooter. From the style of play that lets you select the targets as well as pick the difficulty of the opponents, to the multiple plane and weapon upgrades, to the sterling graphics and sound support, UN Squadron was a blast to play. Just a little too easy. Sounds pretty elite to me, Steve. Just saying. Hipster.
Capcom, yeah. Capcom is really looking to be one of the best SNES producers yet. UN boasts some very impressive features that most shooters lose out on, like a choice of planes, weapons, and levels. The backgrounds are great, but the cart is a little on the hard side. Still a winner. And then again, look what it said for difficulty at the top. So there you go.
Yeah. TJ says UN Squadron's a great game. It's not easy either. I believe you on that one, buddy. It's been since the 90s since I've played it, but they're saying it's easy. So, I mean, hey, yeah, there you go. Who knows? Oh, and there's our buddy Bill Limb. You're punching that poor guy right in the face.
Well,
he's just trying to play basketball. What is our buzzsaw on the floor?
Some high stakes basketball.
Yeah. You want to get drafted to Bill's team? No, thank you. I'm good. Hyperzone. Oh, Hyperzone. By Hal America. 4. Who's Steve's on the bottom, right? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Hyperzone has some cool looks to it, as well as nice sound, but the gameplay is just too repetitive. I really like the execution and concept behind the cart, but I was hoping for more power-ups, more options, and more gameplay. Good, but could have been better. 6 is all right, I guess.
It's the best. That's the best that anyone's given out here.
Yeah.
This game was seriously influenced by other pseudo first-person perspective shooters like Space Harrier. Despite this, HAL started with a unique setting for their Blastathon, but instead of taking the concept in a new direction, we get the same old thing. In the end, I was zoned out. 4.
Brutal. Super Ghouls and Ghosts by Capcom.
Hey, that's
9s.
Yes.
Steve says, this has got to be one of the most awesome games you could ever buy for a home system. It takes a little while to get used to the fact that you can't fire up and down, and there is a fair level of challenge. But for the giant bosses and great gameplay, I can live with the minor drawbacks. Yeah. So in the arcade version of Ghouls and Ghosts, which is a completely different game again, because Nintendo didn't want the same game on their system. You could shoot up and down, and this one you couldn't, but they added the double jump, which is like just chef's kiss. It's absolutely amazing.
So awesome. As the Genesis game did for its system, the SNES version is truly one of the most impressive carts to date. Everything from screen rotations to blizzard backgrounds to storm at sea are in this cart. A bit hard, but the challenge is welcome. 9. So yeah.
Okay, so Steve and Ed both say it's hard, and yet the difficulty is average at the top.
Yeah, there's 2 different people doing these things. I don't know.
I mean, I don't get it. Thanks for the sub, cute girl. Appreciate that. Welcome on in if you're on the stream right now. Yeah, like I don't understand that. Populous. Were you ever a fan of Populous?
I actually was. I had it on the Genesis,
Okay.
and I liked it quite a bit. But I'm starting to see a theme here, where it's like these weirder games that probably don't do well on a console, but, get adapted, and they don't like them. But I did because I didn't have a PC, at the time. So
yeah, so you were kind of in the same boat where I was, where I didn't have PC appreciation. I shouldn't say that. I didn't have exposure to actual PC games until the 3DO. But you sounded like you played a lot of the PC stuff on Super Nintendo. And I looked at Populous and I did try it. And I remember just being like, I just didn't want to play it. I was just like, this is not my thing. Now I realize like the game is amazing.
Well, the Super NES, it says it's acclaim, but I think on the Genesis where I played it, it was I thought it was Electronic Arts. Is that not?
It was 100%
Okay.
Because it was a cardboard box one.
Yeah. Okay.
Hey Dale, welcome back. So Steve gave it a 5. Look at the mix of reviews.
Yeah, it's all over the place.
Steve says 5. Populous is one of those games that you either like or hate, and yet he gives it a mid score. How does that make any sense?
They're trolling.
Does that make sense, dude? It's like,
right. You either like or hate it, but I'm going to give it a mid.
Yeah. I don't really mind so much the concept behind the game, but the overall execution is just a little too slow for a blaster veteran like myself.
There we go.
All right. It's not a good game, but not a bad game in my book. It's just Populous. Safe answer.
Fans of the PC version will be doing flips for this cart. Even though the game is a bit tedious, it still represents an original concept that takes some thought to win. Not only do you have over 900 worlds to conquer, but also different backdrops help change the repetitive nature. 7.
7. Nice. And now we have the greatest game on the Super Nintendo. I guess they're going to do like maps and stuff to show all the power-ups. And really, anyone who hasn't played this game on Super Nintendo, it's on the Switch Online, so you can play it. It's by far my favorite Ghouls and Ghosts. It is hard, and you guys know that every Ghosts and Goblins game, when you get to the end, you have to go back and do it again, which I think is bullcrap. Especially when you have to get that goddess bracelet, and if you die, you have to do the last level again with the goddess bracelet, which is terrible. And clearly, they do that on purpose for the challenge, but I don't know,
Brutal.
man. I don't like going through it twice. I don't like it.
Yeah, that's brutal.
But that's just me. Extra innings. We are getting our Sunday in here for sure. This is like 2 streams worth of EGM. Final fight. Look at this great ad. Look at this guy's shants. There's 2 guys have like shants here. This is great. Denim shants.
Really,
guy-
really.
The one dude on the left. Okay, look. The one dude on the left has got his shants rolled up. The second one in from the right, I'm pretty sure that's Lucas from the Wizard. He's hanging out. This is not the way to play the hottest arcade games at home, like Final Fight.
I've never seen anyone roll up their shorts. That's wild.
It's wacky. Look at this Capcom ad. Ooh, I remember this one. Oh, they didn't do the double. This hung in my room. So we got Ghouls and Ghosts, and then we have Final Fight and UN Squadron. 3 perfect games.
That you hung that ad in your room?
Oh, dude, yeah. My bedroom used to have. There was not a space. It was just all video game ads. So I would buy. I called it the crappier game magazine, which was called Video Games and Computer Entertainment, and I would like just pull all the ads out and tape them all to my wall.
Nice. So did you just change them out like monthly or what?
I did. I had my own marketing tab. I would change them out.
Nice.
Super Earth Defense Force, not to be confused, I think, with the 361. Is it called shorts? What's shants then? Isn't that like long pants shorts? I thought they were called shants.
I always heard them called jorts. Yeah.
The jorts? Okay, there you go. I'm doing Finn McKenzie's terminology there, punk rock NBA. He calls them shants.
Yeah, I just assumed it was a Canadian thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Batman Return of the Joker. Oh my god, it's still going. Here's a Neo Geo ad. This is a rare Neo Geo ad. Anybody in the chat lucky enough to have a Neo Geo back in the day?
That Magician Lord, I played that on one of the SNK cabinets, in the arcade that you pick. That Magician Lord was awesome.
Great game. I don't know one person that had a Neo Geo.
No.
Game price comparison chart. Okay, now look at this. This is interesting, JT. So here, they're trying to justify the price of their carts. You called it, man, at $199, right on the dot.
That's what I thought. Yeah. It was a traumatic experience going into Babbage's and seeing it, thinking, I want to get one. And I saw the price, and it was just like, that's never going to happen.
That's so cool. I never saw them in stores. I only ever seen Neo Geo cartridges in used game stores in like the 2000s when that started to become a thing. But so we could see that an average 8 meg cart is $49. 12 meg, which would be like, I don't even know what game, $75. And the 62 meg game is $199. So they're like, I don't know whether this math is skewed or not, but they're trying to justify the cost of their game. Oh, don't worry.
Price per meg, buy in bulk and save, like
we're just like, sure, man. TJ says, I always wanted a Neo Geo, but too much money. Yeah. I had to get mine later when a video store was getting rid of all their. We had a great store called Jumbo that would have Japanese systems, all the weird stuff like Neo Geo. And when they were done renting them out, they sold them off. And I just happened to be at the right place at the right time. But I bought my Neo Geo used from them. Never had any games. I think for the first year, I never had games for it. But
that's awesome.
Yeah, the selling point of this was you could take the Neo Geo memory card into the arcade. So I don't even know what game you would use that for, but
All right. But also, why would you want to go into the arcade and pay money for a game you already have at home? Right. It's like a convert. It's a perfect conversion or whatever. Right. It's the same game. So
Dude, you're right. That doesn't even make any sense.
unless you're
Wait,
just showboating.
I'm gonna take my level 5
Yeah.
magician lord and go into the
Yeah.
arcade and pay a quarter and then
Right.
play my level 5 magician lord. I guess maybe
So
it's a
weird.
cool guy thing.
It is a cool guy. I mean, just buying the system itself. It's kind of a back then would have been a kind of a cool that guy kind of thing, right? Show off. Like wow. So, but yeah, I always thought that was funny too.
Matt says because each meg over the initial 8
Yeah.
made the game that much better.
Everybody knows that. The more
Yeah.
megs equals a better game.
The more bits too, the better, right?
Yeah.
Or so
Yeah.
we're told. So here's all the awesome Neo Geo games, and even to this day, Neo Geo and SNK, who made it, are just incredible, incredible gaming company. They still go with their King of Fighters stuff. The SNK fighters like Fatal Fury can still be seen today, as I think Terry Bogard drops this month for Street Fighter 6. That's really great. And all these games were just like real arcade games, but you had to have real money for that.
So there's the scam. You were talking earlier about when they're breaking it down, the cost per meg. They were basing it off of 62 meg, but if you go and you look at this ad, the only game that was actually 62 meg showing here was some stupid golf game. All the other ones were like 42, 20, no 55.
Yeah. Top
So if
there,
you were
yeah.
to break it down, it doesn't have quite the same value because those are still $200 games regardless, right? So that's funny. They used like the top end one to demonstrate the value, right?
Jet, you're absolutely right. Bragging rights, 100%. I mean, we talk about the turbo graphics being high end with all the peripherals and all that thing, which it definitely was. But this is like on another level. This is like like whoever owned this thing probably in the 90s would have had their own arcade units in their house too, which was also like a rich man's game.
Yeah. Silver spoons.
There you go, Magician Lord maps. We got a little Neo Geo insert here too. I like that this one is like hand drawn.
Oh, that's really cool.
Dad, don't get hit by the knight. You want to jump? Need a map for that. Oh, woo! Bigger, badder, better Neo Geo shirt. Yes, please.
That shirt. Yeah, I like the shirt next to it. The logo.
The dog. Yeah.
That's
we got a Neo Geo tote bag. I mean, where are you taking this thing?
Do they not have a? Wait. Okay, there's a memory card, but they don't have like a carrier for the memory card. That's what I was looking for. Something you could put in your shirt pocket. You know.
Oh,
that would be rad when you're going to the arcade.
And I remember this picture of Magician Lord on the top here. It was just like, wow. Like the sprites were so giant in that game.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the games were good too. They had the gameplay to back it up as well.
For sure.
Oh my god. Mutron, this is for you here. You're still playing with Sega, NEC, or Nintendo. You're nothing but a weenie. If you're playing with the incredibly high-powered Neo Geo system, you're a real hot hog. There you go. That hot dog looks absolutely disgusting.
Yeah, Chicago style.
Is it? Is that just like we'll put every condiment?
Yeah, it's Chicago style. Yeah, like chunks of vegetables. Like that one's got tomatoes. They usually have tomatoes and I don't know, pickles and other things.
Here's our Return of the Joker, Return of the Jokester. Duke, what's up? You've been a weenie for 35 years. There you go. There you go. There's nothing wrong with that.
Proud of it.
Hot hog. Oh my god, we're still going. We're still going. G.I. Joe the Atlantis Factor. Fun game, not as good as the original, I don't think, but this one's still pretty good. It looks like Capcom took the existing Taxon engine and just kind of not reskinned it, but just added to it. I guess if it's not broke, don't fix it, but it's all right.
Yeah.
You play this one, dude? Being a Joe guy? No.
It's only 2 megs, so think about the pricing per meg. I could not swing that, dude. There's no way. What is that? 25.
I wouldn't be caught dead playing a 2 meg game.
Yeah. Well, there's that too, but more so to pay $25 a meg. That's insane, right? Nobody does
Yeah,
that. So
yeah. That hot hog looks like it has tomatoes, onions, chili, and cheese with a spread of mustard on top. Now I'm hungry. Getting hungry myself. Looking at that hot hog worm. Speaking of hogs,
oh,
ah,
there's some gratuitous shots in that worm. Look at that. That's something.
is there?
Yeah, look at the
Oh
bottom in the
yeah.
middle. Not
Oh,
about a little
yeah.
panty. It's a panty
Yep.
shot. It's
A
like,
little
what?
bit, a little bit. But if you're on a mega CD, it doesn't matter, man. And if you have
No,
more than
no.
4 megs, you can do whatever you want.
Yeah, right. For sure. Even like you paid for it, that's for sure. 4
Rolling
megs.
Thunder 2 by Namco.
think I think I just played 3. I think it was 3 on the Switch. It's on the Namco whatever collection.
Right.
And
Oh,
it
you played 3 of this?
I think it's 3 because I don't remember getting you're a woman. I don't think you get to select. So I'm pretty sure it was the third one, but it's pretty hard.
Yeah, it's like that Shinobi style, right?
Yeah, I loved
You can
Shinobi. Yeah.
go up levels. It's like the same thing. Yeah.
Right. Right.
Light Boy is bound to attract attention. Santa Claus is going to come and use all your batteries on Christmas. If that's not a nightmare for you, I don't know what is.
Lord.
He's so like unaware of
Yeah.
the kids being around.
Right. Yeah, he's in his own world. Yeah.
Anybody?
Drunk on milk.
He's drunk on nog.
Mm-hmm.
The old nog. Did anybody's parents' Christmas tree ever have bows like this? This looks like a lot of work, man, to put those on there.
I know my mom would pretty much just do the tree herself. And there wasn't that, but there was a million ornaments because every year she would buy like more for me and my brother, like that's your ornament, and then of course we never touched them. She would just pack them up with all the holiday stuff. And
so you didn't participate, or she wouldn't let you? It sounds like she wouldn't let you.
No. For the actual setup, I think she probably wanted help, but I was just like not having it, especially, when you get older. It's like I was a teenager, so it's like I don't really care. But she would go to Hallmark, and every year Hallmark would put out like various new ornaments, and at the time I think I was probably into like Star Trek Next Generation. So she got me like an Enterprise one, which was cool because it actually lit up. Like I think it had a plug. You could plug it into the lights.
That's cool.
So it always, yeah. So, but beyond that, it was like it wasn't like a thing that I was going to put in my room or anything when it was done. It was just it would go with all the other ornaments, basically. So, but yeah,
I remember when that started to become a thing in the 90s with like Star Wars and Simpsons and
right, everything. I guess they do Marvel one.
My mom would get me a few Star Wars ones, but she's like, not too many because that's not like Christmas stuff. And I think she had a point, right?
Yeah.
When you just start to put just random like pop culture stuff that you like. I mean, who am I to say? But I don't know. There's young JT right there. There he is.
Yeah, that was my modeling debut. Yeah, that was.
Keeping it portable was tough until now.
Yeah, you can literally see him going blind real time trying to play that. It's terrible.
Like, what's he doing with all the why has he got so many games that he's got to put one in his mouth?
Yeah. See, that would be the kid. He would show up with the SNK, right? For the Neo Geo.
Yeah.
Pop in his memory card. Yeah.
If you had a keeper like this for your Game Boy, yeah, your older brother or your dad might have had a Neo Geo.
Yeah, I definitely did not have that.
Just saying. Quackshot, great game. Really great graphics. It was one of the first games I felt like we're playing like an actual cartoon. It was just cool.
Right. Yeah, no, for sure. All those Disney games at that time looked really great.
Chuck Rock, I guess we're into Genesis territory now. If someone wants to call Chips and Bits, there's the phone number. Feel free. Please feel free. Golden Axe 2. Huh. I think I've played this one. I think 3 I haven't played.
Oh, I definitely didn't play 3. I don't even know if I knew there was a 3. First 2 are great.
And then there's a Golden Axe one-on-one fighter, I think that was on the Saturn, I believe.
Oh gosh.
This movie. Remember this? Remember this
Hook.
image? This was
Yeah.
on the back of every Marvel comic book in this year.
Yeah.
Man. I remember seeing this. It was, Dustin Hoffman and Robin Williams. Hook. Remember that, guys? We're
I'm
still
not
going
sure
on.
if I've seen that whole movie actually.
I never saw it. Peter Nothings. Does Jay like anything? Yes, he does. He doesn't like that stuff. Doesn't like Peter Pan. I'm just saying. Oh, this is Enix before the merger with Square. They put out some good stuff, man. ActRaiser, Dragon Warrior. Excuse me.
Dragon Warrior is great.
Now we're into Turbo. We're getting there, guys. We're getting to the home stretch. We're getting to the home stretch. Hook was a great film. Robin Williams was a legend. Yes, he was. Absolutely.
Yeah, that advertiser index gave it away. There's no Bishu. It's gone.
Oh, thank God we get this. Thank God we get to see Bonk. There we go. Bonk's Revenge. Look at that beautiful ad. The Turbo Express with the TV tuner. Another rich man's game, the TV tuner.
Wow.
Someday, my friend, we'll be able to walk around and watch TV. I promise you. One day.
It's all I ever wanted, really.
Because you can't wait till you get home. No, I gotta watch the cable TV station as I'm walking. That seems safe.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sonic for Game Gear, Ninja Gaiden for Game Gear, and this is different because the Lynx one is the arcade one, and this is like the Shinobi one. That's right. That's right.
Huh.
Ever wanted to play T2 on Game Boy?
Can't say as I have.
Definitely not. And anyone who wants to call EGM, their lines are now open.
It's only $1 a minute. Yeah.
Oh, see, Ninja Gaiden 3 is only 3 meg. I can't play this.
Like no. Yeah. Your money's better spent on the Neo Geo for sure.
Nancy, thank you for the sub. Much appreciated. If you're in the stream, welcome on in. We're going on 3 hours and 10 minutes, boys. This might be a record. Poor JT. He's like, yeah, sure, I'll be on your stream. It's like a full day's
Your all-day marathon stream. Let's do it. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't tell you. We were doing another issue right after.
Back to back.
Okay, we're gonna skip all this. What is happening, dude?
The complaint department. So this is different than the letter. So they have 2 letters, but this one's just focusing on negativity.
Let me just skip through here a little bit. Oh my, it's still going. Look at this. There we go. Okay. I just wanted to make sure like the PDF wasn't accidentally like 2 issues in one or something that we missed. Okay.
Oh my God. We got to read that second letter for sure.
Yeah, so I guess this is the grievances toward EGM. So we'll read this up. Yeah, this looks interesting.
It's not. They're complaining about other companies to EGM. Like, why would you do that? Because they advertise, I guess. They advertise in their magazines, so they're responsible. So they're getting a finger shook at them. That's hilarious.
Never before have I written to a company with a complaint as disturbing as the one I'm currently writing to you. I realize that you probably do not have much control over the business practices of your advertisers, which they do not. But I do think that they are practicing deception and false advertising. You should be informed. It's like, dude, I had this all the time at EB. People would come in and they didn't like the game, and they would get mad at me.
Yeah.
Like I was in the back making Halo 3 or whatever. It's like,
yeah,
it's not me, man. Recently, I allowed my 16-year-old son to use my credit card to order 2 tapes from the Ultimate Game Club. I agreed to pay for overnight charges for him to receive the 2 games promptly. I live in Hawaii. Willie. So sometimes it takes several weeks for items to arrive with the regular mail. After the order was placed, we began watching for the UPS truck anxiously after 4 days. Ryan called to double check the order after a few days. We were told that one of the games was on back order, so he substituted. My son had called that morning to verify that it had been mailed, and he was assured that it had. The next day, I received a notice from my company saying that we had to call them. We did. Excuse me. We did, and he was again assured that the tapes were sent. The tapes. I love it. I absolutely love it. Later, I was informed of the company representative that the tape in the American version was not available and not been for some time, but but it was $30 more. We could have a Japanese version. I was so upset. I asked her just to cancel that order. She said the company policy would not allow her to refund credit card on my MasterCard, but she should issue a credit voucher. Magazines such as yours have a tremendous influence upon children, and I just cannot believe that you would condone that type of business practice. I'm sending copies of this to every newspaper, other game magazines, government office, and the Better Business Bureau. I hope you publish this letter as a warning in your magazine, said Linda, sister of Connie Hinson, the irate customer. Matt, the first Karen, perhaps? I will let you, for our last piece of information here, JT, I'll let you read Ed's or Steve's rebuttal.
Oh, man. They got to do some serious backpedaling. We have received numerous complaints about the Ultimate Gaming Club or Ultimate Game Club, and as of the August issue, we have stopped taking their ads because of their questionable business practices, such as those mentioned in these letters. Even though other mags continue to publish ads from this company, we feel we must warn our readers about the problems which many people have had with UGC. Ordering games by mail should not be a harrowing experience to our readers, and for the most part, mail order companies are honest and reliable, providing those far from cities with a way to get new, hottest softs. To help out, we here at EGM have established a procedure where we can check up on the mail order companies that run ads in our mag. While we can't endorse or guarantee the services of our advertisers, we are now requiring that mail order companies abide by important rules, and we will reserve the right, as we have done with the UGC, to refuse advertisements from any company that doesn't measure up. If you have a problem with your order, contact our customer service line, and we'll do all that we can to help rectify your problems. Wow, that's crazy.
So, yeah, I mean, what's EGM supposed to do? I guess all they can do for the future is to pull that company's ads, right?
Right. Which what they did, but they're saying to call their customer service line. I'm like, why? That's wild.
That is wild.
And you know, the people who staff that customer service line have no idea what they're talking about, right? They don't. There's no anything in place for this. Someone's going to call yelling about UGC, and they're like, "What? You know, this is EGM. What are you talking about?"
Yeah, like can you imagine? It's like it's like I ordered some game from God knows where, and you're just like some receptionist on the other end. It's like you can't help but to do this. It's like, okay, I mean, all we can do is try and contact that company too, but we don't know where your game is. I have no idea.
Right. Exactly.
But
That's
there
crazy.
you go.
But
I remember. I was just gonna say, I remember never being allowed to order anything in those magazines because my mom thought they were scams. Right?
Yeah. Well,
it wasn't until that Die Hard game, whatever it's called, Die Hard Games, it opened in somewhere in Michigan, and we went there once physically.
oh, really?
Yeah. Thank you, Retro Mags, for the awesome archiving of this historical information. Appreciate that. There you have it. There you have it. Wow. There are over 250 pages of this magazine. I miss the good old days of long magazines. Duke, sir, wait until we get to the mid 90s. Dude, we're talking like Sears catalog. Think about that. What is pulling their ads going to do? They already have your money. They'll make more off ads in other magazines. Not very helpful. Yeah, I agree. Well, I would like to thank our special guest, JT, and our channel member, dude. Thanks so much for being here.
Thanks again for having me. It was a lot of fun. Like I said, it's my favorite time of the week when you do one of these. So it's cool to be able to come on here and hang out.
Appreciate that, man. Sorry it was so long to you, man. I know that we said about 2 hours, but
Yeah.
It
was
you
fun.
get to enjoy the
Went by
rest of your
fast.
Sunday. I want to thank everyone in the chat. Again, if you'd like to become a channel member, please consider doing so. It helps support my channel, and it gets you a bunch of cool perks, including being where JT is. If you want to be on an EGM read with Will and I, you're more than happy to do that, or come in our community video game days, where right now we're in the middle of GTA Online, which is a lot of fun. And that's it. So, JT, I will let you go, man. Thank you very much.
Right.
And hopefully we'll see you on GTA soon, buddy.
Yeah, man. All right. You guys take care.
Take care, my friend. Guys, thanks again. We're going to close it with the credits. And thank you for being here the whole time. It's been a lot of fun. You guys do something fun for yourself on this Sunday. And I will be back at you. My streaming schedule will be up tomorrow, so you can check out everything we're going to play and talk about next week. All right, my friends. Later.